It, I'm doing it. We're live. They can hear us. We're live.
We're
We're
live.
live. They can hear us now. What's going on, all three people watching?
We appreciate all three of
If
you.
it was minus one person, I would still appreciate you. So thank you for dropping by. We got a wonderful podcast in store for you guys. Let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Diamond Dust 132.
And I am the Black Otaku.
And together we make the Wonder Twins. No, I just made that up. Uh, but yeah, we got a fun-filled show for you all tonight. You know, I just realized this podcast still doesn't have like a name.
This podcast didn't have any episodes for like a year.
That is fair, but you know what? I guess it could at least have a name, but I guess we'll worry about that later. For right now, let me make sure everything is actually on, and I think it is. Pretty sure it is. Anyway, as you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, everyone's favorite new fighting game.
That hasn't even come out yet.
That hasn't come out yet.
Is that another, 2 weeks from now or something like that?
I think it's 2 weeks. The 19th. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's 2 weeks from now.
Oh, same day as 2K, I think.
Well, I'm getting one. It's probably not going to be 2K.
Okay.
Probably not going to be 2K. Just because I got that fight.
We're not here for a 2K stream.
Got that fight. Right, you're here to see Marvel, I guess. Alright, so we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of topics to cover. I got to find my notes here. But before we do all that, I got some advertisements to plug, and I got some shout outs to make. So yeah, let me turn that on. I'm on the wrong thing. Let me go here. There we go, advertisements. Okay, first and foremost, let me give a big shout out to DreamCancel.com. Wonderful website for King of Fighters players, King of Fighters watchers, new King of Fighters players. They have wonderful resources. They have a wiki there with all the characters if you want to learn stuff. They advertise videos and the like. They advertise some of my stuff every now and then. They have online tournaments, every now and then. So that's a wonderful resource. So big shout out to Dream Cancel. Those guys are awesome. And how do I cycle? There we go. Alright, second, got a big shout out to Orochinagi, about the same deal. King of Fighters, one of the few King of Fighters centric sites we got out there. They always got wonderful information. They got nice t-shirts too. I've been meaning to buy one from Orochinagi. So big shout outs to them. Then we got, speaking of Orochinagi, we got the King of Data app. This is a wonderful frame data app. It's on Android and iOS. I couldn't find the iOS link, but I do got the Android link, and I'll put that in the chat. But they are that is a wonderful resource. So you got frame data on your phone. If you ever need to check something out real quick, it's there for you. I use it all the time for my tutorials. That's where I get most of my frame data for. Wonderful resource, just absolutely wonderful. I can't say enough about it. Oh, okay. I've got the Twitter icon, which means I'm supposed to be advertising my Twitter. You can advertise yours as well. I'm going to put mine in the chat. But yes, please do follow us on Twitter. Thank you, Command. Please do follow us on Twitter. I'm at twitter.com/DiamondDust132. I think he's going to put...
I'm going to drop it in the chat. I'm pretty sure I am at TheBlkOtaku, I think. Let me get that for sure, because there's two of us running around. Not want to plug the wrong one, because fuck that guy.
I always tag the wrong one, so yeah. I always tag the wrong one.
Black Otaku, BLK. No AC. Much like my house. No AC.
Yes, please do follow us on Twitter. Most of my updates are on there, so if I'm for instance talking about a new tutorial, I'll talk about it on there, give any updates on there. He linked his Twitter in the chat just now, so check that out if you get a chance. Yeah, that'd probably be the quickest way to find us or reach us or something like that.
I mean, whenever I eventually go live again with streams, they will mostly be advertised there first.
True.
Or if we hop in and do any group games or anything, both of us will probably plug that on the Twitters as well.
Sounds like a plan. Alright, so next order of business. Patreon. I have a Patreon, so I'm going to link that in the chat. Thank you, Nightbot. Yeah, I have a Patreon, so any kind of support I'll take. I'll take 50 cents. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I do got a Patreon. Link is in the chat, so if you want to support me, I'm way louder. Define way louder. Like, I'll turn him up. I don't want to turn me up. Like, you really don't want to hear me loud because my mic will crack. We'll turn him up.
Yeah.
And then you tell me how it's going.
Work.
It's nice to have ears on the outside because I can never tell. And I don't want to fuck up the stream.
It's still probably my settings. I just never turn my mic up there.
I'll just turn you. It's fine. I'll turn you up. That came out
wrong. Turn my headphones up.
Turn them headphones up.
Turn them up. Turn the music up. Turn my headphones up.
Yeah, I got a Patreon, so links in the chat. I don't want to dwell on that too long. I don't want it to sound like I'm begging for money. Let's just move on.
No one's begging for money.
Okay. I got my latest character tutorial. That's why I had YouTube up. Shit, and I closed the tab. My latest character tutorial for King of Fighters 14, it just came up today. I will supply the link in the chat as soon as I reopen YouTube. Should not have closed it. Could not remember why I had it up, though.
They're good tutorials. I suggest everyone check them out. I have yet to really get deep in the game, but I know they're going to be just so useful once I really start playing. I'm trying to stop being a baby fighter, get my skills up.
Yeah, I'm getting good feedback on this particular one, so I should have said what that was, so just putting a link.
It's porn.
It's porn. It's prawns.
I mean, in certain ways.
So yeah, that tutorial just came up today. Hopefully it'll come in handy for certain people trying to pick up Nelson. Yeah, that just came out today. And I did a solo podcast. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? Talking about King of Fighters 14. It's been out for about a year now. I think it was a year like last week or the week before or something like that. But yeah, I was sharing my thoughts about it, and I will put the link to that in the chat as well as soon as I get there. There it is. It's a pretty short podcast. I don't even think it's 20 minutes. But yeah, I talk about some things, share my opinion on the game and how it's gone so far in the year that it's been out. So if you want to check that out, please do. I'd appreciate it. And I'm about to give you the wrong link. There we go. Come on, YouTube. There we go.
One year. Pretty big time for King of Fighters 14.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been a year, but apparently it has. It's been a lot of changes.
Bringing me a link talking about, oh yeah, this game, you should totally buy it. It's like $30. I'm like, how long has it been out? And he's like, a few months.
I mean, that would be the best time to start.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot of people just getting into it. I mean, this is the easiest King of Fighters to date. So like, as I tell people, if you're not good at this one, then you're just not good at fighting games. Like this game is.
That doesn't mean don't play them though.
This game is not.
Don't lead us over here.
Hard. Okay, next. Oh, probably the most important news of all. King of Fighters 14 is on sale on Steam.
The segues.
that was coincidence. Anyway, but yeah, it's on sale. It's $40 on Steam. So unfortunately, I don't believe it's on sale on PSN, but if you have a computer that can run this game, I would highly recommend you pick it up now. I'll put the link in the chat. Yeah, it's on sale for $40. That's an excellent price. I mean, I would pay like $100 for this game. That's how good it is. But that's just me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I was looking on GameStop website, and the digital copy of King of Fighters is only like $30 there. So for like $70, you could play with your friends on PC and on PS4.
There you go. Well, it's not crossplay, unfortunately, so we don't want to give people.
That's why you need both copies.
That's why you need. Yeah, unfortunately, I wish it was crossplay, but. Speaking of DLC, the DLC is also on sale. Let me check. I'm on it. DLC is the deluxe edition is $40. It's $50, and I think that gets you all the DLC. That gets you every DLC that ever came out with the game. That's $50. That you can't beat that. I mean, the game usually $60 with nothing.
That is a great value.
That's a great value, and you're paying $50. So yeah, please do check that out. This game goes on sale every so often, but don't miss out on this one. And that is all the advertisements. Okay. We can stop talking like corporate shills and get to the the meat of the podcast.
Drop that nice GameStop link in there in case people want to go buy that.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
For actually not even digital. You can definitely get a physical copy for like $30 brand new.
Wow. Wow, I did not know that. That's excellent. Oh, wow,
yep.
You hear that? $30 brand new. King of Fighters 14, PS4.
$36.97 if you want to get the premium edition. If you're
wow.
into that.
Wow, that's you can't beat that.
Apparently, those are kind of based on whatever your local store is. So hopefully your store has that still.
Like you cannot beat that. That's pretty good. So $50 on Steam for the deluxe edition. I'll get you all the DLC, and then about $40 at GameStop. You want the premium edition. That's pretty good. We do not work at GameStop, by the way. We do not work at Valve either. We just really like this game. We're trying to get more people to buy it.
More people in America to help the servers.
There you go. All right. Yeah, I think that was all the advertisements. Let me go back here. That was all the advertisements. So we can just get started. As soon as I find my stuff. That was the first topic I had. And I guess we could just jump right into this. Does the game look good so far? Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Does it look good so far?
I think on my end, just purely on the aesthetic value, because I can't really get too deep into the movement or anything. I'm not really super deep into fighting games. Just looking at it, I love the art style. All the characters kind of feel like they belong in the same world, which is big for me. I never like games where you're coming with two franchises and one of them looks super realistic and the other one's still kind of off. I think that was one of my biggest fears when they brought like Cloud into Super Smash Brothers, and they found a way to make that work pretty well. Looks good to me though. I'm really excited to at least watch it be played.
That's an interesting point. Almost everyone else is saying that this game looks like a mobile game. Like that's the biggest complaint I get. It has no substance. Marcus actually said that. That was one of the first things he said when the game came out. The game doesn't really have any substance, and he still feels that way. And I can kind of see what he means, because Marvel 3, it had this nice shading, this nice comic book style, and then when you look at Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, it's just graphics. It's just 3D models. I don't know. There's nothing that pops out about them.
I think that's kind of the push, though. Like now with these, new systems and everything. Like what? 3 came out when the PS3 was still pretty dominant, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so I think now everyone's just kind of making this push for like better 3D models and all this hyper realism, but like you can't do that. Like you're not gonna make Mega Man look hyper realistic. So you're kind of stuck in this weird no man's land.
See, but if that's what they're going for, then I guess they've already failed, because everyone says this looks like an Android game. So like I mean, look at a game like Guilty Gear. I don't have any footage. I should have had footage if I was gonna make this point. But look at a game like Guilty Gear. Like that game looks beautiful to me. Like and then look at Marvel Infinite, and it's just graphics. Or even Street Fighter 5. I don't like Street Fighter 5. I don't like the way that game looks either. So like I don't know. I need to turn my notification sounds off apparently. So let me do that.
That's probably picking stuff up. As far as like the looks, I guess I should probably go back and look some more. Everything I had seen looked pretty decent, but let me check this out.
But I'm the kind of person that can get over graphics. I personally don't think this game looks like a mobile game. I think it looks fair.
Yeah.
But I'm a guy who played King of Fighters 14 day one, and that game looked like a PS2 game from the start. Like, I'm not the kind of person that prioritizes graphics over gameplay if the gameplay is good. So if Marvel Infinite's gameplay is good, it looks good. So
somebody's got up like 4K HD developer matches, and those look pretty decent.
Those look pretty good, yeah. So as long as the game itself is good, I don't really care what the graphics look like. But speaking of the gameplay looks really good. Like, speaking of the gameplay, they went away from the Marvel 3 assists, 3 characters, so it's just 2 characters, no assists, but you can basically tag in your partner anytime you want. That looks pretty interesting. I know some people are bummed out about no assists. I am not one of them, because I always hated. I was always the kind of person I hate blocking like 6 things at once, and like that's how assists were. They were cool, but at the same time, I'm personally not too upset to see them go. So yeah, it's just 2v2. tag system. They kind of brought back some Marvel 2 stuff. You can basically OTG whenever you want. So every character now has OTG. That's good. What every character doesn't have still is a tri-dash. So we got to see how that's gonna work out, because that was a big deal in Marvel 3 movement anyway.
I mean, do you maybe want to go deeper into that for the the few people that might be listening that aren't really super into the terms?
Yeah, tri-dash. That'd be an air dash. Certain characters. Like Magneto, for example. In the comics he can fly, so they put that into Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3, so he can not only fly, he can dash in 8 different directions. We call it a tri-dash, ironically, I guess. I've also heard the term 8-way dash. So yeah. The big thing in Marvel 3 was mobility. The better mobility you had, the better character you were. So certain characters like Magneto, I know Dormammu, they could tri-dash. And then characters like Virgil and Dante, they had a teleport move, so they had great mobility. I mean, but at the same time, as characters like Iron Man, he wasn't considered very good, and he had a 8-way dash. But movement is a big deal in that game.
They got the titular Infinity Stones that are going to be coming to this game. Yes. Those seem pretty interesting. Just the little effects they've been talking about going through. I think that'll be a pretty fun addition to the game.
I mean, I don't know if it replaces X Factor. That's what Capcom's trying to say. I mean, but at the same time, if you ever played Marvel 3, I can't think of too many people that are upset X Factor's gone. But the Infinity Stones look really good. They all do different things. I mean, some of them already look better than the others. Like the Power Stone, I'm not too big on.
The two I've seen people key in on the Power Stone and the Time Stone thing.
I don't know about the Power Stone. Time Stone looks kind of interesting. If anybody out there has ever played Capcom versus SNK 2, it's kind of like A Groove. You can basically just cancel the same move into the same move. You can literally just hit the same button until they're dead. So that looks pretty interesting. Power Stone, it don't look bad. It just looks plain compared to all the other stones. Like the Soul Stone brings your partner back to life. The Mind Stone gives you free meter. Which one am I forgetting? It's a big one. Which one am I forgetting? But anyway, it doesn't matter. The stones look pretty interesting, and what's really interesting about it is you could be playing the same character but like a different stone. So that gives the game, the fights, a different dynamic. And I know with the Time Stone, for instance, when you use it, it's kind of like a dash. So that gives like better mobility options to characters who don't have it. So that's a pretty interesting dynamic.
Yeah, increase the speed of attack and mobility of characters. So wait, the stones we got through, there are power, mind, soul, time, space, and reality.
That's what I forgot. Space. The space one, the shame box. That looks the most interesting. A
lot of people have mentioned that one.
Yeah, for those who aren't familiar with it or haven't seen it, like the space stone, when you use the surge, it puts the other person in a box, and they cannot move from this box. They lose their mobility. They can't even do combos right. It's so good. So like for the little time the stone is on, I mean, that's just free lockdown. Like that looks that's one of the more interesting stones.
The Infinity Storm is the sealing them in the box.
Exactly. Yeah. Forgive me. Yeah.
And then the surge is just pulling them closer to you.
See, the surge looks worthless, but the storm.
People are saying it's pretty similar to Magneto's attraction.
Yeah, it's basically a storm's foul wind. It's basically the same thing. But that's not why you're picking the stone. You're picking it for that chain box.
Yeah, you want the storm. Yeah, you definitely want to lock them in the box.
You want that box. So I mean, the stones, they all look good, to be honest. Even the Power Stone. That looks like.
I like that they're moving them into the game. That seemed like a good way for Marvel to kind of tie in and say, yeah, remember, still kind of our property too.
And I like the way they've done it. Because I know when they first announced stones, everyone groaned like, oh, not this crap again. For those that played Street Fighter Cross Tekken, that game also had gems. They worked way differently, and they were like less important. But the way they've done it in Marvel Infinite is really good, and I think it's gonna be good. Like I said, you could be playing the same characters, but you have a different stone. It's gonna be good. I'm curious to see which stones are gonna be the best or whatnot.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, like, as the community gets into them, which ones are gonna shake out to the top and which ones are gonna fall to the bottom.
Exactly. I still think the Power Stone. I don't know. I just don't think it's cheap enough.
It's just it's plain. It's really basic.
Yeah, I don't think it's cheap enough.
Make your attacks hit harder. Like, okay.
And the Soul Stone to me is ridiculous because like you're
bring back to life.
Like just bring your party back to life. I mean, it looks ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, I guess we could talk about functions. Did you happen to hear the I don't know if you heard this. Did you hear the Combo Fiend function speech? It's become like a meme.
I have not. I've missed it.
I don't know why I didn't have a video. Why don't I see anything? Hold on. Looking at nothing here. I don't want to be looking there. No, X-Men. Oh, this picture's just not loading up. Let me cycle through my. Well, this picture's not loading up. That's fine. I'll just stick to the box art. Anyway, basically the whole speech was, because certain people, they're upset about the X-Men not being in the game. We will talk about that later. They're upset about certain character choices. And so Combo Fiend, he basically came and he said, people aren't upset their characters aren't in the game. They're just upset they can't do certain things. Like, he talked of the characters as if they were functions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For instance, Magneto has an 8-way dash. He's not in the game, but we have a character. I think he was talking about Ultron. We have a character in the game who has an 8-way dash. And that started a whole storm of memes, of anger, of comments, because he basically said, you guys don't like Magneto the character. You like Magneto because he has long combos and he can dash all over the place. And like, that's just not true. And I don't think he meant it in a negative sort of way, but the way it came off as, like, you couldn't really take it any other way.
I mean, I can't speak for the community so much, but it's not something I see to be incorrect, though.
To a certain extent, yeah, I agree.
I mean, I get it that, yes, there are people who definitely like Magneto, but I relate it to, like, competitive Pokemon. Very few people play with their favorites. They play with things that do roles. Like, you have your sweepers, you have your, walls. You just need something that fulfills that role. Like, you're not picking Blissey because you like Blissey. You need a very tough wall. So I get, if you take it in that sense, then I might agree. Now, there are people who, like, hardcore, they want to play with Magneto because he's good and because they like that character. Probably. Those are the people who typically play the lower tier characters just because they enjoy them. That's at least what I took from it. I mean, that could be completely wrong. I don't know. I don't know if that's how he's getting at it.
It would depend from person to person. I mean, obviously, people who played Virgil in Marvel 3, I can't speak for all of them, but they were definitely picking him because he was good. Whether or not they actually even played Devil May Cry, that absolutely is a factor. I think the main thing is day one, we don't know who's going to be good. So when you basically say Wolverine's not in the game, but we have this character who does the same thing, so I don't see why you're crying, it's going to piss people off. Because, like, to some people, this character is not a function. I picked them because I like their design. I picked them because I liked, their backstory. I actually know where they're from or something like that. So, like, it's one of those things you can't speak for everybody. Because it's like you said, there are people who just pick the characters because they're good. They don't care
I'd have to, I don't know much about the tournament scene, so I don't know how many of them are actually playing characters they legitimately enjoy, or are they playing characters that are, like, good counters? Like, oh, this is a great counter to whoever I'm playing.
Well, I can say from Marvel 3, like I said Virgil came to mind. I mean, he was on a lot of teams because he was debatably the best character in the game. Like I was saying, and most of those people probably weren't picking him because they like Virgil and Devil May Cry.
Affinity to, Devil May Cry. Like, I like Virgil as the character.
Yeah, it's definitely sort of like a divided argument. You can make points for what Combo Fiend said, points against, but it just really ticked a lot of people off, and it soured them on a game that a lot of people are already sour about because the roster isn't great.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I don't think he meant to make it an inflammatory statement or try to do anything that, he wasn't going out and bashing the game unabashedly and saying, oh, I don't think it's good, or, you shouldn't care, so much as I think he was kind of boiling down that as a simplification, and you can't, like, say across the board everyone feels that way.
Exactly right. As I said, you could definitely spin it both ways.
I wonder, do you know if he's addressed it since then, or did he just kind of leave it alone?
Off the top of my head, I don't think they've said anything more about that. Off the top of my head.
I don't know, maybe they attempt to clear it up a little or something, but just off, hearing about it and kind of from past experience, I could see where maybe he was coming from.
Well, part of the problem is, and we can actually start talking about that. Part of the problem is they can't outright say why Magneto, for example, isn't in the game, because they can't put Marvel under the bus and say, well, there's no X-Men because Marvel said no X-Men, so whatever. Like they can't do that, so they have to say weird things to get around it, like functions and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking of the roster, I mean, can this game be good with the roster it has right now? Because like let's all be honest, even I'm like the most optimistic type of person about this game. I can get over the characters if the game is good, but like even I can sit here and go like, why did they put such and such in the game? I don't understand. So like, how do you feel? Like, can the game be good, or like, can people get over the fact that the roster isn't great?
Um, I believe if the game itself still functions well and plays well, people can kind of get over characters not being in there or characters that they want to see if they can find something they're willing to play.
Right.
I think at the end, it's still going to come down to gameplay. You could have the best roster in the world, but if your game is trash, no one's going to play it. And while the roster does a good job of bringing people in the door, if you can get them past missing characters and see that it's a great game still, then you'll be able to retain them.
You know what? My sentiments exactly pretty much. I just think Capcom hasn't done themselves any favors. The way they've handled the game, the way they've marketed the game. We had the day one DLC. We will talk about that later. Personally speaking, I can, like I said, I can get over the roster because the game itself looks really good. Like I plan on making tutorials for that game once I get my hands on it, so I can personally get over it. I know a lot of people can't right now. They're really bummed out. Such and such isn't in the game, which is fine. I've always had mixed feelings about not playing a game just because this character isn't in it and that character isn't in it. But this is a big franchise. Marvel versus Capcom. You expect the best from both sides to go up against each other. So when we get like Firebrand or Nemesis again, then people are going to be pissed off, or Gamora or something. People are going to be pissed off.
And I think in the past that would have been okay to get around because we wouldn't necessarily have DLC lists right in front of us. Back when DLC was a sort of this mystery thing, you could almost fool yourself into believing I'll get the game because maybe my favorite character will come later.
Right, exactly.
But now that we're getting data mined lists and them companies actively releasing, these are the characters that are going to come out later. Now, if you don't see your character on the list, it's a lot easier to say I'm going to pass the game up.
Absolutely,
there are no intentions.
I was just gonna say that. Like that leak took a lot of the wind out of a lot of people's sails, mine included. Because it's at first you'll think that's not real because like it's too it's too mediocre to be real. So you're like that's not real. Then they start revealing characters, and then the more and more the leak
following the pattern, you're like
turning out to be true. And then Capcom, I think, shot themselves in the foot. You can have the same characters, but you need to show people why it's okay for them to be in the game again. What they should have done every time they announced the same character from Marvel 3 was show an actual trailer. Show them actually doing moves, showing the new moves. They did start doing that, but I know like Firebrand and Ghost Rider when they first got announced, they just showed like a picture and said, yeah, they're in the game. There's a tweet, yep, they're in the game. And so if you're sitting there going like, I don't really care, I don't want to play the same characters again, then I don't know. They didn't do enough. I think now it's okay because more footage of the game is coming out, but I don't know. I just think they shot themselves in the foot not showing the same characters, excuse me, and then the new moves they have, because they do have new moves, but like they just didn't show them.
I think that's something that they could have taken a page out of NetherRealm's book, because with Injustice 2 they did a lot of videos. With a DC game, you kind of know who the roster is going to be.
Right.
Like Batman's going to be there, Superman's going to be there. And while a lot of their moves are still similar, there's enough change that just by showing a video of this is what the character is going to do, you were able to kind of see those differences. And I think if Capcom would have done something along those lines, it probably would have helped out.
So yeah, it's just like I said, the leak list, it just gets truer and truer than people like. It's like you said, they already know the roster, and then they already go like, I'm not buying this game. Like this roster is horrible. I'm not buying this game.
Yeah. I think they would have liked to not have had that happen. Like, with a leak, anytime that happens, you almost kind of have to own up to it as a company and say, yep, you're right, you got us.
Right, exactly.
I think that took a lot of wind, like you said, out of their sails, just from not being able to hide that mystery and say, well, just get the game. Maybe your character's coming. Maybe he'll come later.
And, like, a part of me wants to not completely blame it on Capcom, because, like I said, half the roster they have no control over. half the roster they can't really talk shit about. Like if it was their own characters, they'd be like, all right, yeah, you got us. Like you said, you got us. This is who was in the game. Now now that you know that who's in the game, let us show you what they can do. I don't know. They basically. It's like they basically took like a prideful approach about it. Well, if we don't acknowledge the leak list, then it means we didn't get leaked.
Like, no, it doesn't mean that when you show me the same, handful of characters that are on the list.
Right. Like, I don't know. So, like, the way they've handled the situation hasn't been great. Some of the stuff's out of their control, but they definitely have more control than maybe they're willing to admit to. I don't know. It's the roster is a mess. And the game itself looks good, but the roster is a mess. From the character selections to the way they announce them to the way they handle it, it's just a mess.
I mean, is this not essentially where Capcom has gotten to, though?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, well, I mean, and this, we don't have this on the list, but I'd like to ask you that question. If Street Fighter V wouldn't have necessarily went down the way it did, would you have felt better about what's happening with Marvel vs. Capcom, or would you have still felt the same way?
I think it would have been the same reaction the way Street Fighter got. Like, really, Capcom? Like, you're better than this. Like, you've done launches better than this before. Like, what the hell are you doing? Now it's multiplied because now some people are like, well, they've done it twice now. They said that they were gonna, and I was kind of skipping ahead because I want to talk about this later, but that's fine. We can talk about it.
Yeah, now. I saw it and I was like, I don't want to bring it up too early, but I think it fit there.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's talk about that. Like I said, now it's magnified because some people are gonna feel like they've done it twice. Like they've botched 2 games releases, and people are gonna buy the game regardless. Don't get me wrong. If I learn anything from Street Fighter V, you can completely screw up a launch for a game. You can have nothing in the game, and people are still gonna buy it because there's a Capcom sticker on it. But at the same time, there's people like me who go like, I mean, but they've done it again. So is every launch gonna be like this? I mean,
these are 2 flagships. Like Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom are like some of their heavy hitters in a lineup where Capcom doesn't have a ton of them anymore. This isn't, the early 90s where there was a ton of Capcom franchises going through. They're kind of floundering in certain spots.
I mean, like, they still have Mega Man, but they use that whenever the hell they feel like it.
They have Mega Man, but how many times are you going to go buy the... saw an advertisement for Mega Man Legacy Collection 2.
I mean, I'm only soured on that because the way they did Mega Man Legends 3, like, they dug their own hole. Like, I'm pretty sure people would happily buy Mega Man games if they didn't dig their own hole and, like, cancel
Mega Man games... they'll always sell,
right.
But like they keep putting themselves in bad spots where you're like, all right, well now you've messed up Mega Man. Well, now you've messed up Street Fighter. Now you're messing up Marvel vs. Capcom. Where does it end?
And it's like I said, because it's Capcom, and like I said, from what I've seen from Street Fighter V, I mean, they're going to make money from selling the game. Well, maybe not as much money from selling the game as esports, but like esports, they're always going to have a presence there. Like,
well, yeah, they've got a locked in 2 stages basically. Like you're gonna get a Street Fighter stage and you're gonna get Marvel vs. Capcom.
Like Marvel Infinite is already locked in for Evo for the next 5-6 years or however long until the next game. Like that's already
that's
done.
Just Infinite. That's not counting whatever stage they still are gonna throw 3 on eventually. Like it's not gonna go away.
No, I don't think so either. I really don't. Yeah.
So you've got to take it up at least 2 slots.
And so like they're good on that, but at the same time, this is now 2 games releases you bought for weird stuff. I mean, and then the DLC thing, I think I'm skipping ahead again. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, we're already out of order. That technically came before the Street Fighter 5 spot.
And then the DLC thing, let me get the damn picture up. This really pissed a lot of people off. Like, for good reason. I mean, look at the screen right now. I mean, how do you announce DLC for a game after the first trailer? Try not to curse, but like, how do you announce DLC for a game after the first trailer? Like, how the fuck does that work? I did it anyway. How the fuck does that work? That bothered the hell out of me. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this looks pretty hype game. And then we get to the end, and then it's featuring Sigma, 6 costumes, 6 DLC characters. Like, really? I know nothing about the game. There's 4 characters in the game. Are you serious? Why is Sigma DLC? He's a part of the story mode. That'd be like if Ultron was DLC. Like, okay, like you can tell by the sound of my voice, this really irritates me. I'm the kind of person, I've just accepted DLC for what it is. You have a choice. You don't have to buy it. You can be mad about it, but you don't have to buy it. But doing it like this, how are you gonna sell? This is a problem I have with Street Fighter V too. How are you gonna sell me 6 characters I don't know who they are? That's like going to like a car dealership and like maybe it comes with a steering wheel, maybe it doesn't. You just gotta buy the car to find out. I don't know. Like, how are you gonna sell me 6? Well, I guess now it's 4 characters because we know it's Sigma and Black Panther. Like, how are you gonna sell me 4 characters I don't know? Like, Street Fighter V does this bad too. Like, buy our season pass, Akuma's in it, and then you get 5 other characters, and then you just gotta see who it is. Like, I don't like that. Like, I don't want to play this mystery game with like my money. Like, I want to know who it is from the start if you're gonna advertise this shit.
See, and it's funny because like I had a couple games already picked out for that, but the way you just described it made me remember I was in this exact same position when Injustice 2 came out.
Yeah, yeah.
They released the base game for like 60. Then for 80, you got, I want to say, 3 of the characters that were coming for DLC. And then for like a full 100, you got like all of the characters that were coming, which I think is like 9 total or something like that. And I was just sitting there like, why am I paying another tier just to get all the DLC? And they announced that almost immediately after the game was announced. Like oh, yeah, these are the 3 tiers.
That drives me crazy. For as much shit as Street Fighter Cross Tekken got for its DLC being on the disc, at least they didn't announce that shit until after the game came out. Like, how are you going to announce all this DLC after the first trailer? Like, really? The deluxe edition? Really? You should be worried if people even buy this goddamn game. Like, what?
I mean, and that seems to be the standard now. The 2 examples I did pull up, with Destiny 2 that just released, I want to say today exactly, their DLC is already planned to release the first pack in 2 months. So you're telling me I'm going to play through the entire base story and get this DLC in 2 months when you probably could have just included that in the game if it's that close to being ready.
Or at least tell me what the damn DLC is. Jeez.
I think they tell though. That's the one thing that most companies are doing that Capcom.
I don't know, man. I just got this gripe. How do you announce DLC and the game's not even out? It's not close to coming out. I don't know, man. That's just a. You want me to pay more?
They've already announced the Call of Duty World War II. That is supposed to come in November, I think. And their first DLC pack is going to come in January.
And they're suckers that just keep buying the crap. So, like, of course they're going to keep doing it. Do you blame the companies? They keep getting money from it. Money. I don't.
It's money.
Like, I mean, to me, you're selling me. What it sounds like to me is you're selling me half the game. When you announce it before the game comes out, like, you're selling me half the game. Like,
I mean, and I have nothing against DLC if it takes time. If you come to me like 3 months after the game came out and it's like, oh, we have DLC now, but like to tell me up front there's gonna be DLC in 2 months, that makes me know you could finish it. Like you could just delay the game for 2 months and then release the DLC. Like I understand release windows. I get that companies have times where they have to push games or they're not gonna make money, but then don't tell me DLC is coming in 2 months. That just makes me know that you could have finished it.
So that's how I personally take it. I can't speak for everyone out there. You all might disagree. That's fine. But I take it as you're selling me half the game. And I don't like that. So I don't know. In this particular instance, it really... And they did the same thing for Street Fighter V, basically. And everyone was pissed off about it. But Capcom's still doing it. So no, they haven't learned their lesson from Street Fighter V. I mean, I guess for Season 2, they at least announced Akuma first, but I think for Season 1, they announced anybody. You just had to pay for it, and you got 6 characters, and whoever they were was whoever they were, and you paid for it. So hopefully, and one of the biggest problems was they had no communication. So you didn't know who the hell was coming out until like maybe the week before they came out, or maybe 2 weeks before they came out. You didn't know who the hell you had paid for.
Mystery game.
So hopefully this time, with the way they're doing it, hopefully they at least tell you in advance. I'm just gonna throw out a name. Deadpool's coming. I'm not saying Deadpool's gonna be in the game. Just that was the first name that came to me. Deadpool's gonna be DLC. So like for all the people that bought the season pass, that's who's coming out. Deadpool. He's coming out next month. So that gives you a month of hype. You know, not that 2 weeks before. That drives me crazy.
Yeah, no, and I think this is honestly getting to be more of the standard and not an outlier, because I feel like Dragon Ball Xenoverse, at least the first one, did that same thing where like they didn't really release who's going to be in the DLC packs until I want to say like a couple weeks before it came out, and you're just like, why did I buy this season pass and I don't even know like
what's coming? I'm saying. If you're gonna sell a season pass, I mean, I still think it's scumbaggy to release season passes or that kind of stuff for the game you came out. But at the very least, tell the people what the hell they're buying. I don't know. That's 4 characters out of 6. In this game, we don't know who the heck they are. Maybe Monster Hunter and Venom. So I just thought about it. The link. If the leaks are right like they are, then maybe. But like but that's from a leak. That's not from Capcom's lips. That's different. It's not Capcom saying, yeah, Monster Hunter's gonna be in the game, Venom's gonna be in the game, Winter Soldier's gonna be in the game. Like that's from leaks. Like what? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't even know, but like I don't like the process, but I feel like it's gonna be here to stay. Like we can fight it as gamers, and we should be doing that.
I mean,
but there's no guarantee they're actually gonna like make a change.
I mean, the easiest thing is stop buying DLC before the game comes out. Stop buying pre-orders if it comes with that kind of stuff. But I mean, you're never gonna get enough people to do that. So like, it's like you said, whatever. And like I said, it's Capcom, so they've already gotten away with it with Street Fighter V. They'll get away with it in Marvel Infinite. Even if people like me, I'm not the only one who's complaining about this kind of stuff. Even if people like me complain enough, they're not gonna stop.
I mean, because quietly, the base game, the price of a game has now gone up, and like it hasn't officially gone up, but now you're almost forced to pay $80 to $100 to get a full version of a game. And as long as they're gonna do that, and as long as they keep not openly like putting a $80 price tag on it and saying, "Oh, this game on the shelf is $80," people are gonna keep thinking they're getting a value. Yeah, like you're not really getting a value. You've just already admitted that games are $80.
But well, my argument is I don't mind paying for extra optional content to the game. Just sell it to me after the game came out. When you sell it to me before the game came out, it makes me feel like, well, I'm buying half the fucking game. That's how I feel about Marvel Infinite, because I'm probably not.
If you're gonna do that to me, then do it. You almost got to go the episodic way and just say we're releasing things on like a schedule.
Right.
At least then I feel better about buying parts.
That's actually an excellent idea. You say, you know what? 3 months after the game comes out, or 2 months, I don't care, Sigma comes out. But like, you can't buy him now. You gotta wait those 2 months. So enjoy the game for now. Worry about the DLC later. If they just did it like that, I'd be a lot less. Because I don't mind paying for optional extra content. When you sell it to me before the game comes out, it just feels like I'm buying half the game. That's how I feel about Marvel Infinite. I'm probably not buying these 6 characters, not at launch, because the base game is gonna be $60. Yeah, I don't want the whatever the edition with the figures and the stones. I don't want that. I don't collect that kind of stuff, so I don't want that. I don't want the deluxe edition because like I shouldn't have to pay extra for like content that's in the game at release. So I don't know. It's a screwed up situation.
Yeah, and sadly I don't think there's any fixes in sight unless you could get the entire industry of like fans to be like, we're not buying DLC, and there are too many people who are like married to the idea of buying DLC.
So many people go like, yeah, that's fine, I don't care.
Whatever, just tag it on. Too many people showing up to GameStop and they're saying, oh, you want to buy the DLC, the season pass? Yeah, just go ahead and add that on there.
I don't care.
And like I'm guilty of it. I've done it before.
Me too. That's what I'm telling you before.
With, like money in hand and been like, yeah, go ahead, add the season pass. I don't care.
So I didn't do it for Street Fighter V because I just couldn't believe they were trying to sell me 6 characters, and I didn't know who the heck they were. I don't know. It was just weird to me. Like I would rather know because if I had bought it, then I wouldn't have. I don't play Street Fighter V anymore. But when I did, and they revealed all the characters, I wouldn't have played any of them. I didn't like any of the Season 1 characters. So I wouldn't waste the money. If you had just told me from the start, they wouldn't have been as pissed off as they were. The Capcom don't care. First trailer of MVCI drops. Hey, here's 6 DLC characters. There you go. Like, what?
Now, do you think it would be better if they did it sort of Overwatch style, where they just drop the characters in without you having to, like, pony up extra for it?
I mean, free would be nice, but, I mean,
they're not going to, but,
no. Like... I don't know. Because, like I said, I personally don't mind paying for extra stuff.
I mean, and that's the thing. I wouldn't mind if, like, they hit me up and said, hey, so this game's going to cost like $75 at launch, but you get these characters. Like, you don't have to worry about paying anything else after that.
I mean, you know what?
Let me pay for it up front then. But, like, don't give me, like, oh, it's going to be these random characters for like $30. Like, no.
I mean, you could go with the Street Fighter V route. I mean, as much as I don't like that game, I do like the fight money idea.
Yeah, I do like that idea. That
play the game.
Unlock it if you really care.
Right. If you play the game, you can technically get the character for free. And they've made it easier to get fight money. That's a good system. I don't expect every company to do that because that's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like you're giving me free stuff basically. If they did it like that, then it'd be okay. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't mind paying for it. I can't realistically see any situation where they give that stuff out for free, like without some sort of fight money system in place. And I can still hear my notifications. What the fuck? But anyway, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So I think we've exhausted it on DLC. Do you want to move back up
Oh
the
my
list?
god. I mean,
We could be here all day going off on
I'm telling
DLC.
you, it kind of got off topic. It turned into like the industry in general. But like, I think Capcom does it. There's some of the worst people in terms of
I
like
mean,
DLC.
because they seem comfortable realizing that they're gonna make all their money off core fans and like the community. Like they are no longer chasing the casual fan, the person who's just like, oh, I
I
really want to
mean,
play this
I would
game.
disagree with that to a certain extent. They tried it with Street Fighter V. They did it in a weird way because they thought casuals wanted an easier game. When casuals just want to play arcade mode or like survival, they want like one player
Yeah.
modes where they don't get bodied by people that have been playing the game for years. And so they've kind of done that with Marvel Infinite. I'm assuming it has an arcade, like it has a story mode.
Oh
Maybe it
yeah,
has
because
survival.
casuals want arcade and they want like local
Because
players. Like you want to be able to
casuals,
like throw in with your friends, but you don't necessarily want to hop online.
and I was discussing this topic in my King of Fighters podcast. Casuals, they don't want an easier game. They just want to win without having to put in the work. So this game to me still looks hard, even though they simplified stuff like Dragon Punch motions and supers, and like there's no assist to worry about. But like casuals don't care if the game is easier. What they care is if they can just body people for free. So what
Or at the
happens?
very least have a good fight without getting bought.
So what happens in the King of Fighters community is that people come and they say, "Well, I can't find anybody on my level. I'm quitting the game." Like I mean, I can't say the same for me, but people have been playing King of Fighters for like 2 decades. Like even when they make new ones, the mechanics are basically the same. So like they hop into a new one and like it just takes them a couple weeks or a couple months to get good at that game. So casuals don't like getting bodied. They just want to win. So if people quit the game, so that's what happened with Street Fighter Five. I mean, more casuals didn't play the game because they were still getting bought by the people that knew how to play Street Fighter Five. So the people on the Street Fighter Five tournament circuits, those are the people that were playing Street Fighter Four at a high level because those people put the time in to get good at the game. Casual people aren't gonna do that.
I
So
mean, and then you get the whole issue where they're getting bopped like opening week of the game because everyone's got to start at the low levels. Like the game doesn't take it into concept. Oh, you played Street Fighter 4. We're gonna start you off at a higher level. Like everybody starts down at the low rank until you like the game's been out for a while and everybody starts moving up. So I can imagine what it's like to like get bopped by a pro like your first week on the game.
well, I mean, like I said, it's a mindset thing. You have to sit there and go like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you got
take
to take your lumps.
right. It's
Yeah.
a mindset thing, and the people Capcom thought they were appealing to didn't take that mindset. I mean, some did because Street Fighter Five is easy as hell, but a lot didn't. So like, it failed in terms of appealing to casuals. It also failed in terms of appealing to certain hardcore people because the mechanics were too easy. So with Marvel Infinite, at least, it looks like the game is at least hard. Yeah, there's an auto combo button. Like you can reflect projectiles with advanced guard, but at the same time, like some of the combos, you're still gonna have to sit in the lab and practice combos.
Yeah.
Matchups, you're still gonna have to play the game to learn matchups. Like you're not, you can hit that one button for the auto combo, but you're never beating somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. So I don't know. But they at least put the modes in that casuals want, like the arcade story mode. So I mean, at least it's got that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and we'll see. Anytime you tag Marvel on something, it's going to draw a certain crowd of people that wouldn't necessarily be into the game to begin with.
That's what I tell people they go like this game's dead on arrival. Like it's really not. I mean, one Capcom made it, so that's automatically the the immortality seal, and then two it's Marvel versus Capcom. I mean, come on, people are gonna
Like
play the
everyone's
game.
going to play it. It's
Like,
Marvel vs. Capcom, and you got Mega Man Prime Leon.
like even with all the bullshit, like that's one thing Capcom does not have to worry about. People not buying this game. Like it may pull a Street Fighter Five and it don't sell as much as they hope, but I mean people are gonna be playing this game in tournaments for years until they make another one.
Yeah.
If they make another one.
I mean, they will make another one. Eventually, Marvel's going to be like, yo, we got like 12 more movies to promote.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
go
very
ahead
true.
and get another game together.
You know what? Speaking of that, because I kind of glossed over the topic, the roster on the Marvel side. We will get to the Capcom side of the roster because I have a whole list of gripes I have with that. But let me go back here. I'm going to talk about these X-Men. This is probably the one thing that is not Capcom's fault, and I can't. Okay, hold on. Which buttons was it? These buttons. Yeah, that's like the one thing Capcom really can't control. Like they could have handled it better. It's like I said earlier, they can't outright say we can't put X Men in the game because Marvel's being whiny bitches and don't want to advertise other people's movies, but like that's what's going on. That's why there's no X-Men. Like that's out of their hands. And so you got nothing but Marvel, Disney-friendly movie characters like Doctor Strange and Dormammu and who else is in the game? Iron Man, all the Avengers, basically. You got all these
half of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep, literally half of them. So that's why they're in the game,
and I think people have kind of picked up on that. A lot of the fans, at least from what I can find on like message boards online and stuff, have kind of realized like X-Men of Fantastic Four characters are being shafted, but not only in this game, but in video games in general by Marvel because they're not really about to promote these movies that they can't get the franchises from. Like they're really hoping if they just screw Fox enough on what they can screw them on, they're gonna give these characters back, which is probably never gonna happen.
I don't know. It's still like the Fantastic Four is still X-Men. Like who's not gonna watch an X-Men movie? So like that's a losing.
Like they could be bad. Like they've attempted to kill, and shout out to Fox. They've attempted to kill the franchise themselves. And they just can't do it.
Oh, X3, anybody?
X3, half these movies that just came out outside of Days of like. The rest of these are terrible.
What's the one with the shitty Deadpool? The X-Men movie.
Oh, that's Wolverine Origins. Which is surprisingly a very good game.
Like that goofy stuff.
That's probably the last X-Men game that came out that was really good, though.
See, Capcom, they can't do anything about that. What they can control, on the other hand, is their side of the roster. And like, what the heck are they doing? That's what this game. I think I heard Vesper Arcade say this. This game could have been redeemed if you just had a solid roster on the Capcom side. People would have still been mad that there's no X-Men, but at least we would have had a good selection of Capcom characters. Instead, we got Firebrand again, and then we got Spencer again.
See, now, we can get into this now, but I'm going to fight you on Spencer.
I mean, he's from an obscure game on the PS3 that nobody played. I get that the original Bionic Commandos...
Nobody except for me.
And the remakes... I guess are somewhat popular, but like, how do you can? There is no justification for putting Rad Spencer in a Marvel game in 2017.
Other than you enjoy deep cuts, and I do love deep cuts of characters. Like that was out of nowhere. They were just like, "Yo, we have this character. We're throwing him in here. I will fight you over Spencer."
I mean, all right,
I feel like we had this conversation when they first announced it. We're like, "Why Spencer?" I'm like,
I mean, but at least Spencer? In that game. He was new. He had never been in a Marvel game. There was no justification for putting Spencer in a Marvel game in 2017 when Capcom has other IPs they could use. But before we continue, I need to look at my topics, make sure I didn't skip anything. Is there anything else you want to talk about besides the Capcom characters? I want to get to that, but I don't want to jump into it.
Do you want to talk about the abandonment of the game now, or do you want to do that at the end? How do you want to do that?
We can talk about that. Yeah, I mean, it got leaked actually that Marvel is gonna have some sort of e-league like Street Fighter 5. Am I saying that right? Some sort of league, like a pro series. Yeah. I'm gonna say a pro series. Yeah, they're gonna have that. So as long as they keep supporting that, and as long as Marvel doesn't pull the plug, it's fine. I don't think. Yeah, we should be supporting this game for a while.
I think so.
I mean, but if the Marvel community has proved anything, they will support a game that the developer doesn't. So even if Capcom says, whatever, or Marvel says, you can't touch that anymore, I mean, they're still going to play Infinite for like 6 years.
I mean, I basically said Marvel's kind of inclined to let Capcom just run the game after the release comes out. So as long as Capcom wants it to be popular, Marvel's not going to stand in the way. They're going to be like, all right, just do your little game thing on the side while we work on these movies.
And that's good to hear, because in Capcom's defense, I absolutely believe they wanted to patch Marvel 3 and they just couldn't. They had to stand on the sidelines and just watch as Virgil took over the metagame. Yeah. Like I fully believe they wanted to patch and they just couldn't. So
I think Marvel is willing to let them do it.
So as long as Marvel doesn't
we don't care.
Yeah, as long as Marvel doesn't get in the way, it should last a long time.
I mean, it looks good. I don't think they will. I think they're too busy worried about the Telltale. That seems to be the route they're going, and then they've got the partnership with Square Enix they're going to be focusing on too. So maybe they'll leave Capcom to work on their own little thing.
Huh, that's interesting. They'll come back every now and then. Oh yeah, we're making making another Inhumans movie. Throw like 6 of them in there.
Make a new version and throw some more characters in there.
You know what? Now that you said that, I wonder if they would make an Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Because I know with Street Fighter Five, they're saying they're not making a super. They're like they don't want to do that anymore.
I
And they
mean,
have,
that's what they say now.
yeah,
Until 2019, there's an announcement for a super coming out.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Like
So I
Capcom's
guess
not dumb. They're not turning down more money.
so if they're sticking to their guns, then I guess we'll just have one version of
I mean,
Marvel Infinite.
this is a company that licensed what is it? Super Mega Ultra Street Fighter 2 2005 to the Nintendo Switch. Like they'll do whatever it takes to make money.
That's you know what, that's a very good point. Like I don't know who was asking for Street Fighter 2 on Switch, but here we go.
All those Nintendo Switch fans.
Here we go. I don't know. So that's a weird situation. That was all the topics, like I said, I wanted to talk about. I think we covered everything. Yeah. So if you had anything else?
No, I think everyone's waiting to get into these characters.
Oh god, okay. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this, y'all.
I know you have been resting all day, getting ready.
Like y'all got a sample with that Spencer stuff. We're gonna talk about somebody. I'm not okay. Let me set some rules. I'm not talking about the Marvel side because once again, Capcom has like no control over that. So like whoever's in the game,
that's beating a dead horse. We have some stuff for the Marvel, but it's not going to be about the roster as it is now.
But the Capcom side, on the other hand, that's a completely different story. They have full control over this, and they chose the characters they did. Some of them are fine, some of them are absolutely not fine. So we're gonna go down the list. I got a list of characters on the Capcom side. I'm missing everybody but Arthur, but I'll explain why once we get through this. So we're going to go through every character, and then we just going to talk for a while on them until we go to the next one. Alright, so I got Chris Redfield on the screen right now. I do not like this. I do not like this. It don't help that he's literally just copy and pasted from Marvel 3, but they got so many goddamn Resident Evil characters they can use. I'm just going to throw one out. Leon.
Leon I think that's Kennedy. The first one everyone goes to.
Yeah, Leon S. Kennedy. They could have just literally just replaced him with Leon S. Kennedy.
We could do this back and forth. We can go put Barry in the game.
Put Claire in the game. You know what? Claire Redfield in the game. Like I don't know. They could have. Who's the guy in the new Resident Evil?
I was gonna say technically the main character is Ethan, but you never see him. I don't think, or if you do, it's very quickly. So I'm fine with them not putting him, and they could leave Chris. The thing is, I don't want to the game's been out for a while, so fair spoiler alert warning. Once you get to the end of the new one, another character that works for Umbrella, and he says, "You can call me Redfield." He does not give a name. We don't know if he's Chris. People assume he could be. He might not be. He's a lot younger and skinnier than Chris.
Okay,
but I think they could have definitely thrown that character in. Like that would have been cool. Instead of doing base Chris Redfield, just give us this character from the game you just put out like last year.
See, if it was Chris, then okay. That would be fair. Like you're trying to advertise a new game. That would be fair. It's probably not Chris, and if it's not Chris, then
he's like more blonde. He's way like less buff, and he just gives the name Redfield, but never mentions like Jill at all.
I mean, they have so many Resident Evil characters they could have used, and they just
because they attempted to tie the new one to like all the other ones, which is why people are like, oh well, if you're tying it into the main series, why is he working for Umbrella? But they got a new DLC coming up that people think are gonna address that. So who knows? Maybe they will. Maybe he'll show up as like a costume or something patched into the game. But I think that was a missed opportunity.
I agree. Like Chris,
and you're like you can just put it in there.
I mean, I'd rather have Jill than Chris. I would rather have Leon than Chris. I would rather have...
Everybody would like to have everything other than Chris because we've had Chris forever.
And it's just the same moveset, too. Like, does he have any new moves? He might, but it's not enough. I mean, they gave him this weird reload mechanic, so they nerfed him for some odd reason. I don't really understand why you have a reload mechanic in, like, a fast-paced fighting game like Marvel. But, I mean... They could have picked anybody else, like any other main character. Leon would have just been easy. We wouldn't be talking right now. Nobody would complain about Leon.
He's a fan favorite. Everybody loves Leon.
Nobody would. I have nothing against Chris. He's just not personally my favorite Resident Evil character. And like to see him in a game again, I don't know. All right, but this next guy, he triggers me even more. Hold on, this next guy triggers me a hell of a lot more. Fucking Nemesis T-Type. Why is Nemesis in a game with no Jill? Like, I don't get this. How does Nemesis get in over, like, Wesker? Like, and I get the argument, well, he would have just been from Marvel 3 too, but I think people would have taken Wesker over fucking Nemesis. Like, I don't get this.
I mean, Honestly, I think it's just iconic at this point. Like Wesker is iconic too, but I feel like Nemesis people look at it and they're like, "Oh, that's Nemesis." Okay,
I don't know. I
I
would look at
definitely
you
agree.
crazy if you
They could have
said
flipped him out for someone else.
like I would
Like,
look at you crazy if you said Nemesis over Wesker. I don't know. That's like a one-sided argument to me. But they could have used anybody. Like there had to be some monster from the new game. There had to be some monster from the other game. There had to be somebody they could have used instead of this dude. Like this
well,
is
the
so
weird thing is the new game doesn't really have iconic monsters. Like they're all kind of bland and samey.
okay. Then just put Jill in, Chris and Jill.
Yeah, like definitely roll like Chris and Jill and like
not
do the two
Nemesis.
characters with that.
Like Nemesis, I don't know, man. Without Jill, it just doesn't make sense to me. And what the hell was I gonna say? And then Nemesis moveset, it's just copy paste from Marvel 3. Like he a lot of the characters have the same moves. He is the worst offender. Like I could find almost no differences between him in this game and then him in Marvel 3 other than he can shoot 3 rockets at the same time. Like it's just so lazy. They had the asset sitting there, so they're like, let's just use Nemesis again. Like who asked for this guy again? He was cool in Marvel 3 because I didn't think Nemesis would be in a fighting game and it just worked. But like to use him again is so goddamn lazy.
Honestly, it would not surprise me if they were like rolling around the office trying to like add characters at the end. They're like, just Nemesis, we got him here.
Look,
like throw him in there.
Much as Resident Evil 6 sucks ass, couldn't they have used like Jake Wesker? Couldn't they have used Sherry? I don't know. Just somebody new.
That's the thing, and I feel like 6 was like a weird game where like people liked it, but they didn't want to admit that they liked it. I think definitely adding a character from 6 would have been helpful.
I mean, I played a little bit. I thought it was okay, but I mean, the consensus is that it's ass. But even still, like those characters are newer than Nemesis.
Yeah,
like I don't know. And like I said, I would have took Wesker or Jill. You know, if we're just really gonna be lazy about it, I would have took them over Nemesis. How do you put? I don't get how Nemesis gets in over these characters. I don't understand.
Yeah, Franco, I do agree. There's probably going to be some future Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite or something. Like they're gonna do something with this game. Like,
see, I didn't mind it.
They're gonna have to.
See, I didn't mind it when Ultimate came out because I was stupid back then. We got the game for free anyway because Marcus won a tournament, so I didn't care. And having new characters, and I thought they was gonna fix the game because I quit Marvel 3 because I couldn't take it no more. X Factor was busted. I couldn't take the top tiers anymore. I quit. So when Ultimate Wars came out. I mean, when Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, I was like, yeah, this is good. New characters, they're balancing stuff, X Factor's getting nerfed. It was the same shit. It might be more broken. That's debatable. You could say that for another podcast. But it was more broken. I don't know.
That's just the new thing with fighting games, though. Like, there's always going to be these, like, next versions where you're like, should I have even bought the base game? Like, was there even a point to me buying this first game?
It's a mess. Man. All right. I'm gonna move to the next character.
Yeah, go for it.
Fucking Firebrand. Wow. I mean, was there anybody seriously like that wanted Firebrand back? Even if you liked his moveset, like it's just incredibly hard to justify putting him over anybody that Capcom has. Like I could name a bunch of characters. Like, how does Firebrand get in? I could see Arthur, because he's, like, iconic. Ghosts and goblins, ghouls and ghosts.
Yeah, so Arthur at least made sense.
Right, that's iconic. How in the holy hell does Firebrand get in? You could have used, what's the main boss's name? Like, Satan?
Something.
The hell, whatever the main... You could have used him, if you really had to have 2 Ghosts and Goblins characters. How the fuck does Firebrand get in again?
At least I could, like, argue the whole Nemesis thing. It was like, oh, he's been there before. Like, he's iconic. Nobody was asking for Firebrand.
He's on the same level as Firebrand to me. Like, who was asking for these 2 back? But let's focus on Firebrand. Like really,
let's focus on him. But yeah,
man, I don't get it. Like, it's just the Nemesis.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a list of Firebrand fans that are excited that he's back in the game.
You know what?
I'm not seeing him.
I will say this for every character we're gonna name on this list. If you are fine with this character being in the game, then that's fine. It's just, personally speaking, I don't get it. I have no love for Firebrand, not because he's an asshole in the games, but I don't know. How does Firebrand get in over somebody like Leon S. Kennedy or?
I mean, he just seems forgettable. I'm like, oh yeah, Firebrand. Like, he's not sticking out of my mind as I have to.
Even when he was announced for Ultimate, people go like, okay. They kind of
I was just like, oh, Firebrand, okay, that sounds like I should care.
So to do it again, it's just like, what the hell were they thinking? I don't get it. I just don't get this.
Stop trying to make Firebrand happen, Capcom. It's not gonna happen.
Like, this might be the worst one that's returning, Firebrand. Like, I'm sorry if you're a Firebrand fan. He might be the worst one that's returning. I don't want to talk about him no more.
He's just forgettable. You can forget he's there.
Oh, okay. Now we can continue this discussion because Spencer on the screen. I'm sorry, people. The only reason you remember Spencer is because Bionic and Combo Fiend. That's the only reason you remember this man's in the game. He happened to be a good character on top of it. How does he get in the game again over anybody? Capcom made so many damn new games between this one and Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. How does Spencer get in over any of them? How is Monster Hunter potentially DLC? That should have been base roster. Why is Spencer in this fucking game? Like, I'm sorry, man. I got no grudge against Spencer. I got no love for him either.
I mean, like I said, the only reason I carry the torch is because it is a super obscure game, and I enjoyed playing it. So when I see him, I'm like, oh wow, they actually remembered Spencer exists. Like,
and let me just say, I'm very aware that Bionic Commando was an old game. Okay, I'm just talking about the Spencer from the PS3 game that this one is based on. Nobody played that fucking game.
I played that game.
I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know where the hell Spencer was from. I worked at a game store. I think months after Marvel came out, I saw the game Bionic Commando on PS3. I was like, what the hell? I did not know what game this man was from.
And see, it's funny because I didn't play any of the original ones. Like, the first experience I had with it was the PS3 one, and that's why it stuck out to me. And then to see him in, like, Marvel games, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, They're, like, trying to pretend like this character was, like, big name.
I'm saying, putting him in but putting him in Marvel 3, that's absolutely fine. He had never been in a fighting game before. He got the classic costume. That's fine. But putting him in another game, no, you can't do it. This is not Ryu. This is not Chun-Li. There is no excuse for putting Spencer in a Marvel vs. Capcom game in 2017. Who coming back next? Hayato? I don't know.
All of my Spencer fans stand up. We must be heard.
I don't get it. This is on the level of Firebrand. Those are the two. If you can waste a slot in a fighting game, I don't even I believe in that. If you can waste a slot in a fighting game, these two are waste of slots. Like,
I'm putting the challenge on Capcom now. Remaster that PS3 game. Make it better.
You can't remaster trash. I don't get it. I don't know. I just don't get it.
I mean, like I said, it's an irrational love, but I will love this character no matter what. It's irrational, and I can
people even remember him in Marvel 3 because he happened to be good. Combo Fiend and Bionic. Oh, that's the only reason that we even care about Spencer. And there's people who played that game is going like, why the fuck is Spencer in the game? So it ain't even just me.
Oh no, I definitely can agree. Like I said, it's irrational. Not just. Damn it, I'm happy to see him there.
I don't know. Running my blood pressure up. I'm about to move to the next character.
Okay.
Dante. No complaints. You can't not put Dante in a fighting game at this point.
You gotta have him.
He's too cool.
Like I said, the only thing I really was like they missed out on is they could. I like DMC. Like I like the what do you want to call it? The remake, the new game, whatever they called it. Yeah, I enjoyed that, and I didn't understand the hate for that Dante, other than him not being classic Dante. So
it's just the design. He looks like an emo guy, and then.
So I think I would have liked to have him in the game since we've already had like regular Dante in a game anyway. Like put him in there as like the DMC Dante.
I mean, I would have took it as a skin. Shit.
Oh yeah, it can always be a skin. I just think in general, like, I always hate that idea of like, oh, we hate this character. Why? Well, because he's not the character that I'm used to.
I mean, people just like this design better anyway. He looks cool. He acts cool. This Dante is obnoxious as fuck to me. Like even when I was a kid playing Devil May Cry, I thought, man, this dude is really obnoxious. I don't like playing against him.
That's because this Dante we've had forever. If it was flipped and like this Dante was DMC and the other one had been the Dante everybody, people would have been like, oh, I fucking hate this white-haired Dante. What the hell did they do to him? He looks emo. He looks dumb.
Yeah, I can agree with that to a certain extent.
I think it's just people who like enjoy things that are, familiar to them, and that Dante wasn't familiar.
But I mean, yeah, Dante's fine. You can't not put him in a fighting game. I know someone suggested Nero. I would be fine with Nero, but
fine with that too.
Not replacing Dante. Like if they were both in the game,
an additional character,
right? Like people would lose their shit if Nero's in the game and not Dante.
Yes, because Dante's got to be in the game at this point. Like, I can't imagine them releasing one of these from like now on without Dante being there.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't see it. So Dante gets the thumbs up. So we can go ahead and move on. Morrigan. Same deal as Dante. She's always going to be in a versus game.
I mean, I don't need to have her not be in there, but at this point, like, she's going to be there. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, she's been in
you can peg half of this roster just with your eyes closed before you even know the game's coming out. Oh, what are you gonna put in the game? Morgan. Insert other characters further down this list.
I mean, I'm a big Morgan fan anyway. I play her.
Well,
I know I played her in Tatsunoko versus Capcom. I tried to dabble with her in Marvel 3. She was kind of hard on that one, but
don't bring that game up. It's gonna make me sad. We'll never get another one.
Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Yeah, we're just gonna make me sad. We'll never get another one. So
I mean, the rights are so stupid. Like, I think that's the only reason they haven't like remastered it for like PS4 or something. Like the rights, they have to be expired by now, and it's just too much of a headache to get it back for characters. No one knows who the fuck they are anyway.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, she's there. She's gonna be there. I have no problems with her.
Me neither.
I'm just like, okay, it's a character I know is gonna be there.
Yeah, Morgan gets the thumbs up. Okay. Ryu. I mean, do we even gotta talk about Ryu?
Just this like slate of 4 characters right here. Like, you just know they're gonna be there.
All right, like
no one's gonna complain.
I mean, I guess the only complaint you can have about Ryu is that he's like the ordinary guy that ironically shoots like beams out of his hands. But like compared to the other characters, he's ordinary. So like, I've heard people say he don't really fit this series. I mean, but like it's Ryu.
I mean, he's done the same issue. Like, oh, if I put Ken in the game instead of Ryu, you'd be bad. So like, he's got to be there.
I mean, yeah, for sure, you'd be like, huh?
Like why is Ken here? What the fuck?
So I mean, I personally got nothing bad to say about Ryu being in the game. Like, he's gonna be in every versus game until the Earth explodes.
It's gonna be in every Capcom game. If they made Capcom bowling today, Ryu would be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's almost the mascot at this point.
I've never heard someone say I hate Ryu. The fact that Ryu is in the game, like those bastards at Capcom.
Ryu is almost on the level of Mario at this point. Like, he's got to be there.
All right. So next is Chun-Li.
Same.
Yeah, I'm about to say it. She's about the same as Ryu. Like, she's pretty much been in every versus game. She's gonna be in every versus game until the end of time. She's basically female Ryu. She's the first lady of fighting. She's always gonna be in these games, good or bad.
I guess the only thing I could say with those like couple characters is I wouldn't be mad if in this instance they decided to do something a little different with the characters just to try something out. Like, oh, we're not gonna do Street Fighter, but this is a different game. Why not change some aspects of the character? Like, if they wanted to experiment, I wouldn't be mad at them because this is kind of like an opportunity to do that.
I don't know, because then you'd have people complaining like, how in the world does Ryu not have Hadouken or something? How does Chun-Li not have a spinning bird kick? Like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, you know what I would really like to see from Ryu in this game if he had some sort of evil Ryu mode? Like, they did Denjing mode in Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3, but I would like to just see some mode where he turns full evil Ryu and like you can't change back or something. I don't know how it would work, but like that would be godlike.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chun-Li gets the thumbs up. I mean, she's gonna be in the game. Nothing we can do about that. I got no complaints. Mike Hager. Okay, I definitely got some complaints.
You're gonna have to get on this because
this Final
Fight was definitely not my area of expertise.
This is lazy. Like, they had so many Final Fight characters to use, and they just picked Hager again. You can make the argument that Cody or Guy were already in Street Fighter, but like I don't care. You could have used Maki. Like, people have been asking for Maki for years. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with Hager. He's the mayor of Earth. He's hyped to watch with the pipe, but at the same time, I don't know. This is just lazy to me. He got like maybe one new move. I don't know. This is just a lazy pick. They could have used anybody from Final Fight, and they just picked Hager again. I mean, at least throw another Final Fight character in the game, but no, it's just Hagar, excuse me, just soloing again. I don't know. I don't like this. This is probably like really controversial. Like, I think enough people agree with me on Spencer, but like, I don't know. I think Hagar, they're like, yeah, that's fine. I don't know.
I mean, that's how I feel. I'm not really big into Final Fight, so having him there or not there versus like any other character from the franchise isn't really a deal breaker to me. But I definitely get what you're saying, where you're like, oh, there are these other characters you definitely have thrown in instead.
Like, Maki would have been good. Cody or Guy, I don't care if they're in Street Fighter, they would have been good. I don't know. Hager to me is just lazy. I don't hate the choice, but I don't like it either.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to lose sleep over it, but you definitely wanted to see a different.
Agreed, yeah. So, the mayor gets not a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. He just gets
just some sort of weird... It's a shrug.
He gets a shrug from me. Let's see, Zero from Mega Man.
I am hyped for this.
I mean, he's slowly turning into like Dante. You can't really not
Yes.
have him in a versus game. I mean, people like Zero. He's usually top
I feel
tier.
like Zero people enjoy a lot.
Yeah, like his design just looks cool. I mean, I personally have no attachment to this character, but I have no issues with him being in the game. I mean, I just feel like he's going to be in every versus game from now on. I mean, it's hard to complain when Mega Man X is in the game, like, at last.
Yeah. I say if they would have done like Zero and no X, then maybe you'd feel a different way about it. But yeah, he's definitely getting to that point where you just can't like exclude him from the game, or exclude, I should say.
Everybody likes him, so he gets the thumbs up for me.
Good guy.
Good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He shows up and you're like, all right, cool. Zero. Why not?
We got Mega Man X. Who's gonna complain about this? They finally put Mega Man in a goddamn Marvel game. It says Marvel 2 anyway.
I say yes, it's 2, right?
So thank God he's in something.
Do we know why he was missing from 3?
I don't know, because Capcom likes to troll. Like the same reason we got box art Mega Man and Street Fighter Cross Tekken, because Capcom likes to fucking troll. They knew we wanted Mega Man, so you know what? What we'll do? We'll just make him a costume for Zero. There you go. Mega Man's in the game. Like, you bastards.
I think once they kind of settled down on having the sort of 2-on-2 tag system, they kind of realized you got to have both of these guys here.
That's what I'm saying. X and Zero. They should be Ryu Chun-Li. Just pencil them in for every versus game, and like not too many people are gonna complain. That's fine. So I mean, X gets the biggest thumbs up I can give.
Yes,
like thank God he's in the game. Man. So finally, Capcom using Mega Man as good as Nintendo does.
Nintendo showed them the blueprint, and they're like, right. I guess we should do that.
Man, Nintendo using it like one of their IPs. I swear. I got Strider, Hiryu. No complaints here. I mean, they're gonna put him in every game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's easy to put in too, so you're not really gonna see him moved out of the games.
I mean, Maximilian loves this dude. I mean, I don't see any reason to not put Strider in. I think I don't think the games are as iconic as something like Ghosts and Goblins, but like Strider has just become. He has just become iconic for himself. Right, like just from being in these games. So like,
yeah,
he's fine. I don't have any problems with this, and he looks pretty godlike in this game. I don't think I'm gonna play him, but yeah, he gets the thumbs up. Okay. Frank, I got Frank West. Yeah. I think the Japanese people really love this dude. I have no attachment to him again. Marcus, Marcus is gonna be happy this dude's in the game.
He has somehow made himself out like a own entity from the Dead Rising series.
Yes.
Like the series is here, but like for some reason, Frank West here to stay forever.
Yes, I mean,
and I can't blame them. Like he's the only one I remember. Like I know the. Really care about them the same way anyone cares about Frank West.
Yeah, I don't think the dude from the second game is ever gonna get into like one of these games. Nothing more than the cameo.
Or like the guy from Dead Rising 4. Just like no point.
I forgot there was a Dead Rising 4. But anyway, yeah, Frank's just he's just I guess he's just like Hager now. He's always gonna be the rep from his respective series.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's gonna complain.
No, I don't have any issues with this. Like I said, Marcus is definitely gonna love this. Good old Melos. Who's next? Jeddah. Darkstalkers. This is good. This is godlike actually.
I mean, it's not Morgan, so there you go.
Like having Morgan and Jeddah is good. Like I said, Morgan's gonna beat it to the end of time, but it was nice to not see. Well, you know what? I actually like Felicia. Hasenko doesn't work for the Versus series. She's too goddamn slow, so it's good that she's not in the game. Felicia was already in Marvel 2 and Marvel 3, so that's fine. She can.
Yeah, I remember her from 3.
So yeah, Jeddah's good. I would have took Dimitri too from Darkstalkers, but Jeddah's good. This is hype. He looks already top 5 just from.
He looks so broken.
He looks so busted already just from watching the pre-release footage. But I mean, this is good.
These patches are gonna be fun.
Yes. So personally, I have no complaints with Jeddah. This was a good pick. This is one of like the few good picks. I mean, the few good new characters besides X that Capcom put in.
Yeah.
So this is good.
So I mean, looking at the list, we really only had an issue with like 3 characters on the roster.
Pretty much. I got Sigma here.
Maybe 4 if you count Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, just out of like the main roster that's not DLC.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
you're right. Yeah, you're right. There's
anytime you have only that few issues or whatever, then it's a pretty successful roster.
it's just people are just wishing for. I mean, they had so much potential. They had so many. We'll get into this because we got wish lists too. So we'll get into it. But like they had so much potential. It was just a lot of just bring back the same guys for no reason. Nemesis, Firebrand, Chris, like those three you could easily take out, and like only 3 people would complain.
Yeah. No, I think, and that's always the case with rosters too. Like, you're never gonna get everything perfect. Like, there's always gonna be some character you could have left off or some character you didn't put in that people are gonna bring up.
I mean, but at the same time, they really sort of dropped the ball. So let's just hope all the DLC characters are godlike. I had Sigma up. Can't really talk much about a character that we know nothing about. But
Yeah.
hey, at least he's new, and Mega Man X is getting some more love. So he should be cool whenever he comes out. Why he isn't on the base roster is beyond me when he's in the goddamn story mode. Like, I don't really understand that. And then Ultron's in the game.
I'm just trying to figure out why on this picture he looks like a cross between Zurg and Buzz Lightyear.
He does look like Buzz Lightyear. Oh my god, yeah, he does look like Buzz Lightyear, man. That's funny. Oh my god. I don't know. Well, he should be hyped, like I said, because at least he's new. At least he's another Mega Man X character, and God knows that series needs some love.
You know, maybe they're taking a page from Injustice 2, because I feel like, what's his name? Not Darkseid. I feel like Brainiac was definitely like DLC while also being the main villain of the campaign.
I don't understand that. Like, if they're in the story mode, then like they should just be in the game. Like, I don't get that. Like, save DLC for like people who have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Like Injustice 1 DLC, none of those characters had anything to do with anything. They were just people.
They just showed up at the end. They're like, oh, okay, cool.
I don't get that. But at least Sigma's in the game, like I said.
So. Yeah, at least he's here. They didn't completely exclude him.
So I'm pretty sure this is the last. Yeah, it is last guy, Monster Hunter. This isn't the one that's gonna be in the game. Probably, I just got a random picture of a Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
That's good. See, that's what Capcom should have been doing with this game, putting in like IPs that haven't been in this game either for a while or new ones, or at least if you're gonna use the same IPs, use different goddamn characters. Yeah. I'm looking at you, Chris, and Nemesis.
It's pretty similar to me to when Nintendo put Village to Smash. You're just like, all right, cool. That's a neat little idea. I'll be curious to see like how that works out for like Monster Hunter in the franchise.
So like I said, it's hard to talk about a character we know nothing about. I haven't seen any footage of them fighting or whatnot, but I mean, this is good.
At the very least, make it's good advertisement. Like, you got a Monster Hunter game dropping, like put this in as advertisement.
So this is good. I have no complaints about that. And so I think that gets us to the end of the Capcom gripe list. Like I said, I was gonna do one for Marvel, but at the same time, that's not really Capcom's fault. They can't really control that. Maybe some other time.
Podcast.
Right, I was gonna say right. Maybe some other time. We covered all our topics, so I think all that's left is a top 5 wish lists, and then a top 5 not wish lists. Characters you don't want to see. Either that's already the way I did it. I did the characters I don't want to see in the future as DLC, and I think you did it. Like
most of mine were mixed, mostly because I just forgot who was already in a game or like had been in one, and I just wasn't thinking about them. But I think it's kind of it works both ways.
Okay, so we have no pictures for this because that would have been extra work. So, how do you want to do this? You just want to take turns for the top 5?
I said, do you want to switch off, or do you want to like you go first and then I'll go through mine?
Let's do it character by character.
Okay.
So I'll say one character, then you say a character, and we'll just do that till we get to the end of the list.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so the first person I had... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. My list is kind of cheating because a lot of these are not single characters, but like somebody from a certain IP.
Yes.
This first one, though, is pretty fair. Ashura from Ashura's Wrath. Like, I have no idea how he didn't get in the game. Like, that was just so free to me.
He seems like so built for this, too.
I mean, they did the whole crossover thing with Street Fighter 4 back in the day. I mean, how does he not get in this game? Like, maybe he'll be DLC. Maybe he's one of the DLC characters. I hope so. But how does he not get in the base roster but like Spencer does, or Chris does, or Firebrand does? Like,
I'm not going to let Spencer go.
I mean, I mentioned 2 characters with him in my
I know.
I'll just say, like, how does Ashura, not only is he not announced, he's not even on the base roster. Like that was a major whiff to me. Like that's what I'm saying when I say Capcom, they had so much potential to get their side of the roster right, and they just fucked up.
Yeah.
Like Ashura would have been godlike, because like you said, he was handmade for this game.
Yeah, he seems handmade for like this type of environment.
He would have been so sick. I would have mained him day one. I don't get it, man.
I think a lot of people would have.
Like that's a major. That's probably my biggest one on my list.
I think for my first one, I went with a franchise with Breath of Fire, specifically the main character Ryu from Breath of Fire 3. Mostly because it's just a cult classic RPG from the 90s that I feel like people have kind of forgotten about. And if anything, I think this game should be a vehicle to remind people these things exist.
See, I'm not gonna lie.
If you're Capcom and you gauge interest in this and people are like, oh, I'm glad you have a Breath of Fire character in there, maybe you make a new game eventually.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I never played no Breath of Fire characters. So I can't. No Breath of Fire games, excuse me. So I can't really comment.
I played a couple during the 90s for PS1, and like that would seem like a great way to like A, remind people these characters exist, and B, figure out if people actually want another one of these. Like if you would have seen a ton of people maining like Breath of Fire characters on this game, maybe Capcom would be like, oh, maybe we should make another game because we have a ton of new fans now.
That's an interesting
remaster all of these other games that we have.
That's an interesting idea. That's somebody you wouldn't expect in one of these types of games. It reminds me of Tatsunoko versus Capcom when they put in Kaijin no Soki from Onimusha. Like that really threw me for a loop. Like, wow, Onimusha versus
like, oh, okay then.
Like, man, okay.
And I would have gone Onimusha. Like they didn't make my top 5 list, but that's definitely like an honorable mention. Like anybody.
I was gonna say didn't make my list either, but yeah, like another Onimusha character would be cool. You know what? But like, yeah, Breath of Fire. That would have been an interesting idea. I'm sure a lot of people would have went like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Yeah, a lot of people would have been like, "Who is this?" And then if they would have taken the time to look at the game, it looks kind of dope. Like, who doesn't like '90s JRPGs?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, that's not a bad. That's a pretty good one.
That's probably like the only like deep cut on my list. Everybody else is kind of like, yeah, you might know them, you might not.
Okay. Well, second thing I had on my list. This is one of my cheating selections, but I just had a rival school character. Batsu, Kiyosuke, I would take Hinata. That's a desperate one. Akira, I would take just some sort of rival schools representation. Like that series was awesome. It even played almost kind of like Marvel. You had the air combos, you had the aerial raves, you had the supers, the team supers. I mean, it played a lot like Marvel. And Tatsunoko versus Capcom got it right. That game had Batsu. CVS2 got it right. It had Kiyosuke in a game that plays nothing like Rival Schools, and it had Kiyosuke. Like, so how the hell does I don't know? This game should have had some sort of Rival Schools character. And Street Fighter V, it's even got a Rival Schools cameo on one of the stages. Like, how does one of them not get into the game? And like I said with Ashura, maybe it's DLC, but like I don't know. That should have been base roster. Like we got Chris Spencer, Nemesis, Firebrand. That's 4 slots right there. You could have used. For sure, and like a Rival Schools character. It could have just been one. That would have been fine. I don't know. That's just a major miss to me.
I mean, it's so weird too, because like they've seemed willing to cross over like Rival Schools into like Street Fighter and the opposite way too. So like you seem like that would have been like the first pickup. Like, oh, we've done this before. Why not just throw them in here?
That's what I'm saying. It just seemed like that and Ashura just seemed like just such obvious picks to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I look at Capcom and I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm telling you, like they whiffed.
All right. So next one on my list is a fan favorite, and that was Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe.
Like nice. I was really sad to hear that he was basically cut after he was in Marvel vs. Capcom. And I'm like, this seems like a fun character. I've always enjoyed the series, the characters. I wouldn't mind seeing either him or Sylvia from that franchise being a playable character in the games as DLC. It just seems weird that they would have him, and I'm pretty sure the response, like, for fans was high with him in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they just, like, completely left him off the roster.
I mean, he was one of the first people they complained about, like Firebrand gets in, but not Beautiful Joe? I've seen that.
And Spencer's in, like, to take a page here, because I would not mind cutting Spencer for Beautiful Joe. I feel like that game and franchise was at least successful.
Yeah, he's one of the main people I've heard people go, like, how is he not in this game? He was the only representative from his game. He's pretty damn iconic. I mean, he was never good. He's in Tatsunoko and Marvel 3. He was never good, but like he was fun to play. And just having him there.
I can figure is like his powers would be redundant compared to like what the gyms can do.
Maybe.
But that would have been fun. Like imagine if they would have busted him in story mode and he gets a hold something or the space gem. He'd be like, "Oh, I can already do this, and now I can do it even better."
I don't know. See, that's one of those strange cuts. Like, I don't have a Matarasu from Okami on my list, but that's another character like Beautiful Joe.
Yeah, I would like Okami to be in there, but at least I can understand them cutting that. Like, I don't know why, but Capcom seems like they don't want to ever talk about that game again, considering it's not playable on anything current anymore. What was the last thing it got a release for, like Wii or something like that?
I don't know. Like, yeah, well, yeah, Beautiful Joe. That's a big one. I don't know how he doesn't get in the game.
Beautiful Joe was so popular; it had a cartoon at one point, and like we just completely removed him from everything now.
Yeah, we haven't had a new game in man, it's been a long time.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like I heard that the developers have decided they're just not going to go back to that.
I don't know.
Beautiful Joe, they seem very hesitant to want to do anything new with.
I don't know. At least people remember his game. Like, who the fuck played Bionic Commando on PS3? Like, seriously, but I can't get over this. Who the fuck?
Still me. I probably owned all five. Well, owned all 5 copies that were sold at.
Man. Oh man, but yeah, Joe's a good one. That's
either Joe or Sylvia. Like, I feel like she doesn't have much spotlight either.
So we're on number 3. Yeah, we're on number 3.
Yeah, 3 for you.
This one's kind of a surprising one. Well, I guess it's only surprising if you know me. This is another cheating one. I got like a Street Fighter V character. One of the new characters, not not an old one. We already got Ryu and Chun-Li. I don't like Street Fighter V anymore. I wouldn't say I hate it. I just, it's kind of like your ex-girlfriend. You like, maybe you talk, but like otherwise, you want nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
But still, it seems weird to me. Like, that's just free advertisement. And Street Fighter V is pretty damn recent. I mean, it only came out like a year ago. Or however long. I don't get... Yeah, like, just some new Street Fighter V character. Like, Nikali would have been perfect to me. I remember way back in the day when the game first came out, I remember one of my friends saying, if they ever make a new Marvel game, they should put Nikali in. I was like, yeah, that'd be a good idea. He seems like he'd fit that game style. He kind of plays like Wolverine.
Yeah.
And please don't shoot me. I'm not suggesting he should take Wolverine's place or something, or he should have his moveset or whatever. But yeah, he reminded me of Wolverine. So like, I don't know. Nikali would have been perfect. I'm struggling to think. I wouldn't want Fang in. I damn sure wouldn't want Abigail in. Fuck that big fat fuck. I hate him so much. Yeah, Nikali's the only one that comes to mind. But like, just somebody from Street Fighter V. Like how Marvel 3 had C Viper from Street Fighter 4. Like that was great advertisement for that game. And she fit better than I thought she would. So like, just some sort of Street Fighter V character. Maybe it's gonna be DLC. And I'm shocked they didn't just put one in from the main roster. I know a lot of people would say that's a lot of Street Fighter characters, but I mean, who cares? I don't know. Street Fighter V is pretty new.
Yeah. I guess if you want to do something strictly from 5, you'd put Laura in there. If you were just like,
oh yeah, I didn't think of it. Yeah, man, she would probably fit perfect in this game.
Right, just to be like, yo, we have this character we kind of introduced here. Why don't we just throw in this?
I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah, that'd be a great idea. Laura and Nikali, I'd do either one.
I mean, I enjoy Balrog, so if you just want to throw him in there, but he seems kind of out of place. But then again, no more out of place than, I guess, Ryu.
I mean, to say like that, but my argument was like, you already got Ryu and Chun-Li. That's enough veteran Street Fighter characters. Like I would,
basically,
if you were gonna put another one in there, just someone from 5, would make more sense to me. But like Laura, Laura, man, that's a good one.
Guile, just to have Guile's theme go with everything.
Oh god.
But no, yeah, I think Laura would have been like the go-to like idea. Like, oh, we have character, she's popular, she's Street Fighter 5 like to the core of her character. Throw her in there.
So I mean, yeah, that's my third pick. I'm shocked it didn't. I mean, that just seemed, I don't know, all my choices so far, it just seems like, how did they not do it? I don't know. I don't work at Capcom. They make more money than me. I don't know.
All right, so my third one is kind of cheating as well. I took a vein from your book, but I wanted to see an additional Resident Evil series rep.
God,
like, not Chris.
Damn it. You stole my 5th one. Shit.
Specifically the 2 that came to my mind, because I had one and then I like had a second one, which was what prompted me to go for just the series in whole. I think Shiva from Resident Evil 5 would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Or just bring Ada Wong in. Like
Ada Wong, wow.
They're both badass, like ass-kicking female characters that Capcom does not seem to want to remember. Like, if you would have brought either of them into the game, I think you would have had an instant like level of fans that just would have rushed over to be like, all right, we can play, popular waifus like right here.
And yeah, you totally stole my 5th one. Well, might as well talk about that now then, since that's off the list. Like I said, I would have rather. I guess we kind of cheated because we already talked about this earlier.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to get into like who I wanted in there from. because I knew it was coming up on my list.
I mean, I like. And some people are gonna say that's too many Resident Evil characters. I remember when Nemesis came out, they were like, "Wow, that's 3, friggin' no, that's 4 Resident Evil characters," because they had Chris, Jill, Wesker, and then now Nemesis. Look, I don't care. Like, if you're gonna not waste roster spots, but if you're gonna, excuse me, if you're gonna have Chris and Nemesis in, then at least put some third person in that makes it all up.
If they would have ripped Nemesis out and put Shiva in there and just gave like her some type of like thing to do together, like that would have worked perfectly. That was basically all of like Resident Evil 5.
Like,
it was just like the two of them working together.
Like, I know it would be 3 characters, but it would really, to me, make up for it if Leon was DLC, if Wesker came back, if Jill came back. I mean, it would still suck having Nemesis in 2017. I still don't get that, but I don't know. Like, I can at least justify Chris because he's the main character, but to have him and Nemesis is just weird. So if you added that 3rd DLC character, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, and who doesn't want to see Ada Wong like just chilling in a game?
See, if you did that, I would want Leon and like Ada by himself.
Leon and Ada would definitely work well together.
yeah, it's like having Nemesis by himself, which is weird to me. Like, I would take Ada, but not by herself.
Yeah.
I don't know whose turn it is. I kind of hijacked your turn.
I say you jumped in, so I guess I'll go to my next one.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And I said Regina from the Dino Crisis series.
Oh wow, that'd be a good one.
Like, she's a forgetter. She's kind of forgotten, but like it just reminds me of a time I probably shouldn't have been playing. Like they were just rated a little bit too ahead of me. But like I think that character would definitely be one they could bring back in. And same thing as Breath of Fire. Like these are franchises we've had for a while. We haven't done much with them. Why don't we just bring a character back and like show them off here?
Yes, she'd be one of those characters people would be like, I don't know at first, but then she would grow on her.
Yeah,
she would grow on you.
I mean, she'd be at bottom of the roster to start, but like just including her in the game is a step in the right direction.
I mean, I like that idea. Yeah. I like that idea.
Like it's kind of what you have these games for, anyway, is to like remind people of these franchises. Besides, hyping Marvel properties.
I mean, and even if it's old, at least you're using your IPs.
Like, using your IPs that you have.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you wouldn't even have to put her in this game if like people really didn't like it that much. Spencer. That's a good one.
I guess you should go for your 5th one now.
I told you, but I can't decide if I hate Spencer or Firebrand more for being in this game. I can't decide. Like, they're both just wasted fucking... Okay, moving on.
Alright, let it out. This
is my last one since we had the same thing. Phoenix Wright. Yes. I am a Phoenix Wright fanboy. I love every goddamn game. It was so good when they announced him for Marvel 3. I popped off so hard when that trailer first dropped. And I swore up and down I was going to main him until the game finally died. And that lasted about like 2 months before we all realized he's a horrible character in that game.
I mean, my thing is, what did you expect?
I mean, fair enough. He was a fighter in a fighting game that didn't fight.
I was like, what did you expect?
Well,
when I first saw him announced, I was like, okay.
I don't know, but at the same, it's not that he was a bad character. He was just hampered by the gimmick of like he has to be turned around.
I was saying, I wouldn't even call him a bad character. That just seems like it would hamper him hardly, like really hard.
He had some good buttons. It was just like he's like Frank West, but like at least for Frank West, it was way easier to get him leveled up. But with Phoenix Wright, it was just range. You just had to pray to range, gave you the right items so you could be a good character. Like once he turned that shit on, he was good.
Yeah.
So he was just hampered by the gimmick. So if you brought him back and you modified the gimmick a little so it's easier for him to get that mode, he would be godlike. I mean, Phoenix Wright is godlike. He was so godlike in that game, even if he sucks. Just having him in a versus game was...
Just having Phoenix right there makes you feel good.
And so I don't know. I've seen a lot of people say the same thing as me. Like, why isn't Phoenix Wright in the game? Like, he was pretty high.
He was the first one that everyone's kind of like, okay, he should be here. Like, even if he's not the best character, we just want him there.
I mean, some representative. I would even take Apollo Justice. Okay, I read your thing. I'm kind of cheating, but
I saw that on the bottom. And I'm like, ooh,
we won't get into that. So we'll get to that later. But I would even take Apollo Justice just to have somebody from this series in the game. But I really want Phoenix Wright. Like, he was really hype. Like, I enjoyed me some Phoenix Wright.
As a callback, you would say Phoenix Wright kind of defeats the idea of what Combo Fiend was saying of characters as functions. Then
exactly, because I didn't give a shit how he played. It
You're
was
like, I
just,
don't care if Phoenix Wright is terrible. I'm just gonna, play him
I
until
mean,
it's over.
it was some people that they still use him to this day. Because his moveset was just so unique. Even if he was hampered by his gimmick, like, they really tried on that character. He doesn't throw one punch. He doesn't throw one kick. He doesn't even throw you. His dog hits you. Like, it was so creative. Like, he should just come back.
Yeah. And I guess for my final one, I cheated as well, and I went with just any representative from Power Stone. Like, it's a franchise that I feel like everybody loves. Everybody's waiting on something to come from it. Like, this would have been a great way to remind people that people like Power Stone. Like, it's got a great roster in its own regard. My top picks specifically were Ryoma, Valgus, or the main character Edward.
Yeah, at the game store I worked at, they actually had Power Stone in like every day, so I played that all the time. I had forgotten about it for this list, but yeah, Power Stone would be godlike.
Like, everybody seems to remember the franchise, but like, it's like Capcom has kind of forgotten that it exists.
Yeah.
Like, do something with it just to remind people we know.
They have a lot of IPs that's just the case. They just don't care about them no more.
Yeah.
Dino Crisis.
That's like Dino Crisis has not seen a release since like mid 2000s, I think.
That's just how it is. I don't get it, but I don't work at Capcom like I said, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's something I don't know. Maybe they're like, oh, these are very failed franchises. We're just never gonna do them again.
I mean, it's better than putting in, I don't know, Nemesis, like Firebrand, like really.
I was say Firebrand.
Spencer. Oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of comments like, bro. Like, why do you hate Spencer?
Like, why do you have a hate boner for Spencer?
I don't hate Spencer. It's just he shouldn't be in this game. I have nothing against Spencer. It's just I don't know. You know what? This is bogus to say, but I feel like if Combo Fiend did work at Capcom, Spencer wouldn't be in the game. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I think we got to the end of our wish list. So it's time for the top 5 people we do not want in this fucking game. Or people who are already in it and we wish they weren't.
I guess I'll lead off on this one then.
Cool.
So my first one is definitely gonna get some flack, but I said Rocket Raccoon. I know he's in this one. I know he's been in 3. I love the character. I just don't think he needs to be in a fighting game. You don't need him here. Like, as someone who reads the comics, enjoys the comics, the scheme of his character does not fit this idea. Like, I understand he's a shooter. Like, he shoots things. He's really good at doing that. You don't have to put him in a fighting game, though.
You know what they could have did? You have somebody like Star-Lord or Gamora, and then during one of their supers, you have him come out and he does stuff.
Like Star-Lord bringing Rocket out for a super makes sense. Like, in the comics, Rocket has taken over running the Guardians at times where Star-Lord's like unavailable. If he just would have like thrown in and been like, all right, cool, Rocket, go do some stuff.
And you know what? A lot of people felt that way when he got announced for Marvel 3. Well, firstly, nobody knew who the fuck he was. I was one of them, like, who the fuck is this guy?
You're like, who is Rocket Raccoon? And then you went back and watched Guardians of the Galaxy. Cool.
And then, secondly, yeah, it was just, it just felt like a shot out of left field. Now we get it. They were trying to advertise a movie that wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
Black Panther. But, I don't know. A lot of people love him. I think.
I mean, as I said, I can understand it's a very unpopular opinion. Like, I'm willing to go out there on that limb.
But no, the person you got on the list, the other person, that's gonna be way more like people are like, what the fuck is he smoking? But I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, he is kind of weird for a fighting game. I can tell you, Marvel 3 players hated him because like he had this weird hitbox and he fucked up all your combos. So you had.
That's the other thing too. Like, it feels a lot like having Krillin in a video game. It's like, how am I supposed to hit you? What am I doing?
But yeah, I guess I'll go. I got no, all mine are people are gonna hate because I only got 4 actually. I couldn't think of 5 in time for this. I only got 4 on a top 5 not list.
That means you're gonna freestyle the last one.
If I think of it in time.
Top of the dome.
So mine is Captain Commando. Like, I know people are gonna punch me in the face for this, but like The only reason people want Captain Commando in the game is because he's got his Marvel 2 assist. He hasn't been in anything. He was in Project Cross Zone 2, so I guess that's not entirely true. But he hasn't had his own game in like fucking 3 decades at least. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the appeal. Like, he doesn't look cool to me. I don't like his attacks. I only used him as an assist character in Marvel 2. I don't know. Like, that. I know it's gonna be unpopular, but I don't want Commando wasting a slot in this game. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna be upset if they put Commando in the game. There aren't even assists in this game, so like, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, they could have put Mac the Knife in instead.
Oh my god. Jeez. I just, like I said, he never appealed to me, so of course my opinion is biased, but like,
yeah.
A part of me feels like Combo Fiend, and you just want the function. You just want the assists in a game with no assists. Like, I don't know.
It goes both ways.
I don't know. So I'm sorry, y'all, but that's how I feel. I don't want Commando.
All right. So then I guess my second one was a split, both Venom and Carnage.
Oh, wow.
I think they are overplayed in all franchises. They show up anywhere Spider-Man has been, will be, or will ever be. They just suck up his sloppy seconds. I feel like you can do a Spider-Man in a franchise without bringing Venom or Carnage. Or if you're going to do it, give me Agent Venom. Like, put Flash Thompson in a suit and, like, make him his own character. Don't just make him symbiote fucking Venom.
All right, and everybody out there, in his defense, he didn't know Venom was on the leak list, and he didn't know the story mode.
I hadn't looked.
Was about symbiotes. I didn't know that until literally before this podcast, because I don't give 2 shits about the story mode.
No.
So, like, it was in his defense. That's how he feels.
So, I mean, yes, if you're going to make it, like, story-centric, then I guess I can allow it. But, like, this is bigger than just Marvel vs. Capcom. Anytime Spider-Man shows up somewhere, you can bet Venom's going to be there. Like, people will just, they can't let the two exist on their own.
I mean, because Venom... I gotta disagree with you. Venom is just cool as shit. That's why. I mean, that symbiote, his powers. I mean, I'm glad he's in the game. Like, he was so hype in Marvel 2, even if he wasn't good. I don't know. He should have been in Marvel 3. I don't know. Venom's hype. I would have took Carnage too, but like Venom's hype.
I guess I'm dealing with Venom fatigue. Where like he's everywhere, and I'm just like, okay.
Well, you know, I guess that's fair in your defense because I don't really read comic books like that. Like, I'll pick one up every now and then.
I mean, it's like that's one of the biggest things that's like happening with the Marvel universe, like in movies. Like, they've done Spider-Man, and they have yet to do anything to talk about. Well, we're gonna bring Venom in, which is like great. Like, you don't have to. Spider-Man can exist on his own. He doesn't serve as a vehicle just to bring Venom into the story.
I don't know. Then we get fucking movies where the main villain's the Lizard and shit.
I mean, now Sony's doing their own Venom movie, okay. So like that exists.
Like, let's look at
yeah. But yeah, that's me. Just like, it's fatigue at this point. It's similar to how people feel about Batman. Like, as a hardcore Batman fan, I don't feel it, but like people get Batman fatigue where he's in everything. You're just like, could you stop?
Yeah, that's gonna be a controversial one for sure when I upload this.
I mean,
but that's all right.
Go ahead, send the flag to @BlkOtaku, like BLKOtaku. Do it.
I'll put his Twitter in the description. You can talk all the shit.
Go ahead, talk all the smack you would like. Just make sure you click the video and watch it numerous times.
I mean, but people are gonna hate me just for my next choice. I got Jin Saotome. He's the guy from Cyberbots. That's what the game's called. Jin Saotome. People have been saying, man, I really wish they would bring him back in the game. I wish he was in Marvel 3. And I'm sitting here like, why the fuck do you want this obscure-ass character in this game? He was hype in Marvel 2. I played him. I'm not going to like sit here and tell you I hate him or something, but at the same time, why? He's like Spencer to me. Him and Captain Commando are like Spencer to me. They have not been relevant for fucking years, and you put them in a fighting game from 2017. I would not I don't understand that. So I do not want him as DLC. I'm sorry, people. You're gonna hate me for this. I just don't want Jin. He was hype in Marvel 2. Don't get me wrong. He was hype in Marvel Superheroes, or I mean Capcom. I mean, whatever the fuck game he first came in. I get confused, but I don't know. I don't want him in this game. I'm sorry. Like, it would just be so out of left field. I would be like so goddamn irritated if he was in this game. Because people really like. Let's just add everybody from Marvel 2 in this game. Like no, come on, man. Just leave them. Like, Marvel 2 came out like 2 decades ago. And even then, they were just reusing characters from the old fucking games. So just leave it alone. Like, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do that.
You know, it's funny too because I just happened to like be googling around for him, and I found a list that someone put out of characters they want to see in the game back in 2016, and then it was later updated in May of 2016. But like the initial release was 2016, and Cyber Commando and Jin are both on the list.
I mean, I can't do it.
Like both of them made the list of this person who wanted to see these characters.
I don't know. That's just Marvel 2 nostalgia. Then, like, I don't know. You could say the same thing for Venom, but like Venom wasn't in Marvel 3. I don't know. Venom's still relevant, unlike fucking Jin Saotomi or like Captain Commando. You could argue Strider, but like he's built up such popularity that like if you didn't put him in the game, people would be pissed off.
Yeah.
There'd be way more people pissed off Strider wasn't in the game than people pissed off that like Captain Commando or Jean weren't in the game. Like I don't know. That's just lazy to me.
I definitely get what you're saying. Moving on to my next one. You talked about him earlier, but I said I don't want to see Apollo Justice in the game. I specifically said if it's not Phoenix Wright, like don't bother. If it's not him, don't. I enjoyed the Apollo Justice games, but I feel like Phoenix is almost like Frank West, where you're saying I don't want to see anybody from the other Dead Rising games. Just give me this guy.
That's fair.
That's how I feel about Phoenix Wright. Like I love the games themselves, but like if it's not Phoenix Wright, don't put him in the game.
I'd rather see Edgeworth in the game than Apollo.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Like if it came down, like I got nothing against Apollo, he'd be a close third. If it came down to either you get Apollo or nobody, I would just take Apollo.
Yeah,
yeah, I see what you're saying. Like
I mean, yeah, if they were like gun to my head, you either get Apollo or you get. Because the franchise deserves to be like represented, but like if you have the option and they're like, say we're either gonna put Phoenix in or Apollo, like you might as well just pick Phoenix.
Yeah, I'd rather have Phoenix too. I agree with that. I get what you're saying. Like, it's not that you don't want like Phoenix Wright universe. You just don't want Apollo Justice the character. Yeah, that's fair.
Still like the games though.
I guess it's my turn. All right, I'm gonna say Super Scroll, and please do not shoot me for this. I don't mean Super Scroll the character because Super Scroll the character was fucking godlike. Okay, I mained him in Marvel 3 when I did play the game. This has nothing to do with Super Scroll. What I'm tired of is Marvel making Capcom combine 4 characters into one, or 6 characters into one, or 2 characters into one to get around the fact that they don't want to advertise other people's movies. Just put the fucking Fantastic Four in the game. I don't want to play Super Scroll when he has all their powers. He was cool, but I'd rather just be Mr. Fantastic. I'd rather just be, the Human Torch. I'd rather just be the Thing. I'd rather just be the Invisible Woman. Like, I don't want Super Scroll in the game. I don't want them. Same thing with Taskmaster before Marvel changed their minds and was like, you can put Hawkeye in it, that's fine. Like, don't put other characters' moves on another character just to cheat and not put those characters in the game. Like, the Fantastic Four deserve to be in the fucking game. Like, at least some of them. 2 of them at least. Come on. Like I say, it has nothing to do with Super Scroll. Super Scroll is awesome, but like, ugh.
I mean, but just I agree, and I think Marvel really it's not gonna work. Like they've done it for so long that Fox has said we don't care if you don't do anything with our franchise, we're gonna keep them. So you're gaining nothing by
exactly. So get your heads out of your asses.
Like you've tried, and they're not resisted. Like they're resistant to it. They're not gonna do it. I don't know. Like going off topic, there's just no other routes they can make. Like Disney's already tried backing up the truck. Fox isn't gonna listen. They've tried just not promoting the characters. Still hasn't affected it. You should just get used to the fact that you're never gonna get those characters again. Like unless something drastic happens, you're not gonna get them. So you gain nothing by just banishing them to non-existence.
Agreed. So just put Mr. Fantastic in there. Put the Human Torch. I don't care. Put Invisible Woman.
Put them in the game and do better than what they could do in a movie.
That's what I'm saying. So
make them feel ashamed.
So for Super Scroll fans, excuse me, it has nothing to do with Super Scroll. I love Super Scroll. I just don't want him in the game because it's lazy and it's stupid and it's just Marvel with their heads up their asses.
All right. So my next one was Alice from the Resident Evil movie series. Specifically because I wouldn't put it past Capcom. Like, they see Marvel pumping up their movies and everything with the game. Why don't we just put our movie character in there? No.
I don't know, man. It's not really the same. Like, that film franchise isn't on the level of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And, like, Capcom, to me, gains nothing from it.
They've tried. I'm pretty sure the final movie, the final chapter, whatever they just called it, is the 7th movie in the series, I think.
I mean, so
And
unless
they have talks of like redoing them. Like basically, they want to
fuck?
reboot the franchise and like start over again.
I mean, okay, if you reboot it, then make it closer to the games. That's fine. But unless Capcom thinks this movie is gonna make some serious cash, then I just don't see the advantage to it. Like nobody would want this. I'm sure they know that.
Nobody.
Nobody would want this. Like
Nobody. But
if the
at
third
the same time, look deep in your heart and tell me you don't think Capcom would try it.
It seems like a Marvel move more than a Capcom move. Marvel would do this. I don't know about Capcom. I don't know, but Capcom's so scumbaggy. Maybe they would. I don't know. Just
Not
imagine
taking an L on the movie franchise.
Like, just imagine if Alice was the third Resident Evil character. Oh my god. You just break the fucking disc in half.
I mean, she's met most of the main characters anyway.
They just break the disc in half. Over Jill, over Claire, over Wesker, man. People would just write
like, oh, guys, but we have Alice here. Like, no.
I mean, fortunately, I just don't think it's going to happen.
So I really don't either. This is more of a just a please don't.
No, you're right. Yeah. That's fair.
They'd never be, like, crazy enough to try it, I hope.
Like, that would be such a Marvel move. Like I said, unless Capcom takes this movie, it's gonna make some serious bucks. I don't see it. I don't see the advantage to it.
I mean, they must think so, since seeing as they like ended the franchise only to announce, well, we're just gonna reboot it.
If it's closer to the games, then that's fine.
That'd be cool. I mean, they have ones that are close to the games. They're all the CG animated movies.
Oh yeah, those are good. Those are really good.
Those are amazing.
Like, Degeneration was so good, even though Claire does not.
They got a new one coming out now.
Do they?
Yeah, there's another one with Chris that's following Chris, I believe.
Nice. Yeah, the Generation is so good because I'm such a Claire fanboy. She's my favorite Resident Evil character, and she's in the movie. Right? She doesn't do much to the end, but like still, it's just got.
She's there.
She's there. Okay, then moving on. My fourth pick, the Inhumans. Any Inhumans. I don't want no Inhumans. Like Marvel can spin it however they fucking want. These are just discount X-Men because they don't want to use real X-Men. No Inhumans. None. Absolutely none. Medusa looks kind of cool, but no Inhumans.
No Inhumans at all? I mean, you don't want...
Okay, you can put Inhumans in there, but not before the fucking X-Men. If you do like some X-Men DLC pack, and you have enough X-Men in there, then you can do Inhumans. But like, not before the X-Men, because I'm gonna sit there and go like, these are just fake X-Men. I don't want to play them.
I mean, you haven't longed to play a Squirrel Girl.
I would like to play Squirrel Girl, but I don't really want to be Medusa, whoever the hell else they got. Like, no Inhumans. Like, not until they put X-Men in. Like, no goddamn Inhumans.
Yeah, the Humans is definitely their way to get around. We don't own the rights to mutants.
Like, Marvel is already shitting on this game enough. And then just to put in Humans, oh my god, that'd be like the final middle finger. Like, fuck you guys. We do what the hell we want. That would just take me off. I'm sorry. I have nothing against the Inhumans, but like Marvel is just treating them like discount X-Men right now because they can't make X-Men movies and they don't want to advertise
X-Men. Black Bolt.
Like that's all they are. They're just throwing us budget X-Men and saying, it's about the same.
Yeah, basically. They basically have said, you don't want to use the mutants. We're just gonna go ahead and make our own thing.
I mean, that's just shitting on everybody who wants X-Men in this game. Like, I'm sorry, I can't. No Inhumans. Not until they put X-Men in the game.
This isn't gonna right itself unless some fan uprising swells on one direction or the other. Either Fox is gonna get a bunch of pressure to give the rights back to Marvel, or Marvel's gonna get a bunch of pressure to say, "Hey, we'll just work with you and you make all the money."
Right. Okay, I'm done.
All right. For my fifth one, I said The Thing, specifically because we already have the Hulk. You don't need another character that's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Unless they made his moveset
different
different
enough. Function in general.
Use the F word.
Oh, that dreaded F word.
If they made his moveset interesting enough, I'd be okay. But like I said earlier, I'm fine if they just put like 2 Fantastic Four characters.
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic and somebody else.
He's not the first Fantastic Four character I'm going to.
Right.
Like, you gave me like Invisible Woman and like Mr. Fantastic, I'd be happy.
Like I could see Mr. Fantastic and the Human Torch. The Invisible Woman's in like Mr. Fantastic Super.
Like the Thing is just he's so down on list because you have the Hulk.
Yeah, I kind of get that.
They have basically the same powers except the Thing is intelligent. That's basically the line of differentiation. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Full sentences and the Hulk can't.
That is very fair. I'm still trying to think of a fifth one, and I'm struggling here, so I might just have to say forget it. You know what? How about we cheat a little bit? Let's not say 5 Marvel characters, but let's just say like a couple. Like we won in the game. I already said the Fantastic Four, so I'm not gonna say that. In terms of X-Men, Jubilee with the fireworks powers.
Jubilee would be interesting.
Not the vampire one, because Marvel's just trolling us with that. But the one with the fireworks. I know that's out of long field. She was an assist in Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Yeah, she would be really, really random. But if you put enough X-Men in there, I think you could sneak her in there without too many people complaining. Like, Jubilee's always been one of my favorite X-Men for some reason. She'd be pretty hard.
I would probably say Sabretooth, just because I enjoy him. Like, he's basically Wolverine, but more ruthless, so, like, why not?
Yeah, I pretty much made Sabretooth in Marvel, too. It's a stupid idea, because he's trash, but, yeah, having Sabretooth and Wolverine in the game would be pretty cool.
Yeah, just to see them, like, kind of play off of each other. Always gonna say Luke Cage, or basically anybody from the little TV universe they got going now. They're all interesting characters, minus Jessica Jones, who shouldn't be in a fighting game. Like, she's a great, like, character in general. I just don't need her in a fighting
game. I guess fair enough.
Like Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, like any of those guys would be interesting. Like, that's a fight I'd be willing to see. Like, Iron Fist going up against, like, Ryu.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm trying to think of another one. I had something on top of my head. I'll take Spider-Gwen.
I guess. I mean, she's not bad.
Why not? You know, just have another Spider-Man guy in there. Side Venom. I'll take Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
She's pretty popular for some reason. I'll take Spider-Gwen.
I mean, I feel like everyone's gonna say Deadpool, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot about Deadpool.
Because he's gone after being there.
Yeah.
It's like they saw the movie and were like, "All right, get him out of the game. Get him out of here."
Yeah. Fox did it. Never mind. Get him out.
I mean, I would say Cable, but that's gonna be the same issue where, like, you put him in the game, then they come out and there's like, "All right, get him out."
I would take Cable, but that's just like another Marvel 2 throw in, I guess. I don't know. Cable was kind of hyped, though.
Yeah.
The air hyper viper beams.
Who else would be there? I'm just looking through, like, lists of people now to see who I would enjoy. I don't know, because I feel like everybody is kind of redundant, like, as far as, like, characters.
Yeah, I kind of see what you mean by that.
Like, they're all basically just, like, offshoots of saying, I guess that Gambit, if you really wanted.
Gambit. Yeah, people have been asking for him forever.
Gambit or Angel. Those are, like, the two I could think of people going for.
They did, like, a poll for, like, I don't remember if it was an official one or not, but they did, like, a poll for, like, DLC for Marvel 3, and, like, Gambit was at the top of the list. Gambit and, like, Iceman.
Yeah, people want him.
People like that. Gambit's fucking hype. Like, he is hype. Just Gambit in, like, a 3D game 2017 would be godlike.
Yes.
Like, that would be godlike. Oh my god. I would pop off so hard if there was, like, a Gambit trailer or a Gambit announcement.
I mean, Gambit would be cool. I guess, technically, the Beast, if he fights differently from everybody else.
The Beast, that's pretty interesting.
I mean, just because you get those combos where he'd go from, like, hands to feet and stuff like that.
Damn. That actually kind of sounds dope.
I
mean, hell, just X-Men in general at this point. Fuck.
Yeah, so, like, just get use of the X-Men and go for it.
Man, just suck it up. We want the X-Men. We'll pay money for the X-Men. People will pay. If you sold maybe 6 characters, that kind of sounds like a lot just for one side of the game. You would have to come up with 6 extra Capcom characters too. But just have 6 X-Men. You think people wouldn't pay for that shit?
Oh, people would. If you did, like, franchise packs, like, get an X-Men pack, I don't know, get a Street Fighter pack if you want to add, like, another 6 Street Fighter characters if you want. Like,
X-Men should have been in from launch. Very true, but, like, who the hell wouldn't pay to get them in the game? Like, I mean, hell, they should just get it to us for free as DLC, just for screwing us over. But, like, if they have to put money on it, I mean, who's gonna say no? Like, I'm not buying the fucking X-Men.
Nobody. There's absolutely nobody that would say that. Like, they're too popular at this point.
Speaking of X-Men, like, I would like Cyclops back. I would take Sentinel out. Nothing against Sentinel, but I would use some other X-Men. I would take Hope Summers. I would take Iceman. Maybe Colossus. I don't know about that. I would take Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver.
So we're just listing X-Men we want to see in there.
We got to that point of the podcast. Don't matter no more.
What's her name then? Like Shadowcat or something like that. I'd take her. Kitty Pryde, yeah.
Just. I would take base X-Men, like the guys you would expect, like Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops, Jean Grey. It doesn't even have to be Phoenix. It can just be Jean Grey. That's fine. I know everybody's salty about Phoenix still. Just base X-Men. I would take that, and then maybe down the line you add some of the more obscure ones, like I don't know, maybe Jubilee. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel like Jubilee's not even obscure though. If you watched like '90s X-Men,
which all of you should have.
Yes, then you know Jubilee. She was in like at least half the episodes doing something useless. Like I can't think of anything like useful she's done, but she was there.
True. I just take her. I mean, I would take her in somebody's super if it had to just be.
I think I saw somebody say Ant-Man. Like, why is he?
I think Ant-Man's DLC.
Is he? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think he's DLC leak. Well, he's definitely gonna be in the game because I think.
I say he better be. They got a movie to promote.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I think he's DLC.
That's basically how you figure out the Marvel roster. Just see what movies they have to promote.
Well, I've covered about everything on my list.
Yeah, I think we got it. A nice little 2-hour podcast. You know, don't want to draw it out too long.
I don't know. I watched a 3-hour podcast the other day and I didn't care.
Oh no, yeah, you can definitely go longer.
But yeah, we're not gonna make it 4 or 5 hours though. Plus, as we can summarize, I'm personally pretty hyped for the game. If I have the money, I'm gonna buy it day one because I'm an idiot. Even after all the shit I've been talking about the roster, Capcom, Marvel, I'm still gonna buy it day one and make tutorials for it. So look forward to that.
I enjoyed the demo enough to like want to buy it. I don't know if I'm gonna get it day one, but probably shortly thereafter. It might be in my holiday pickup when I like just pick up 4 or 5 different games.
See, I didn't hate the demo. Everyone's like, man, this demo turned me off from buying the game. The demo was so bad.
Oh no, it was pretty interesting. I enjoyed it.
It's just the robots died too fucking fast, so you couldn't.
Oh yeah, that was the problem. You couldn't do anything because I was like hitting basic buttons and like killing them.
What they should do, and there's no point now because the game's coming out in 2 weeks. What they should have done just had a versus demo. Maybe 4 characters: Captain America, X, Iron Man, some other person. Doesn't matter. They should have just had a versus demo. They should have used a later build because the build we got for the story mode demo was the old build. Then they had one at was it Evo, and that was way newer and everything looked better, everything sounded better, whatnot. They should have waited to use that build. They should just put a versus demo, and that would have sold people about what the game's about. Because let's be honest, people like me who play fighting games competitively don't give a fuck about story mode. I might play it, sit down, play it that one time, but I'll never touch it again.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited for the story mode, but at the same time, I don't need a demo for that. Like, right, I don't need you to tell me this is where the story's going. I'll get that when I get the game.
And I felt like they kind of did it in a sort of like, cause Street Fighter 5 didn't come with a story mode.
Yeah.
So basically, like, hey, look, story mode out of the box. Try it out.
There's story mode here.
Right, try it out of the box. Like, that's not some shit you should have to advertise. That's just because Capcom does shit weird now. Yeah, they put weird shit in games now. But they should have just put a versus demo, or at least because King of Fighters 14, I think you could play versus with it. You could play versus, and I think you could play training when the game came out. And that was fine because I got a feel for. I might have not used any of those characters, but at least I get a feel for how the game plays.
Exactly. If they would have thrown like 6 or 7 characters up and just like, all right, you can do versus matches, you can do training. There you go.
Or at least like, have a beta. Yeah. Street Fighter 5 had a beta so I could try the game out before I bought it. That's what sold me on buying the game. I kind of regret it now, but that's what originally sold me.
Now that you say that, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, they didn't do any type of beta.
No, the game's just coming out. If you like it, good luck. For me, I just gotta take the footage that people like Maximilian upload, Tyrants uploading stuff. I just gotta take that footage. I don't have a choice. That's it, because I can't get my hands on the game. I can't travel out to these events to play the game myself, so that's my only. Or I re-download that story mode demo and I kill the robots in like 2 fucking hits, so I can't do nothing. Like, that's my only options right now until September the 19th.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, to get this demo out here and it's not even a real demo. Like, it's a couple of story matches, but at the same time, you don't really get a feel for anything. You just get to see these characters and say, oh, I guess these are here now.
I don't know. I don't know. They handled it weird. They definitely handled everything like strange. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't. Like I said, I'm still gonna buy the game because I'm stupid, and I do like what I've seen so far. I think it's got potential. I like the tag mechanic. That's got a lot of depth to it. I'm personally not gonna miss assists. Like I said, they used to drive me crazy. That's a minority opinion. I'm sure. I was down for the way they did assist at Marvel One. It wasn't your partners, but you picked some other character, and then you had a limited use of assists. See, that would have let them throw in a whole bunch of characters that aren't playable, but they're in the game.
Yeah,
Like
that would have been interesting.
like Jubilee, for example. Like she's in Marvel One as an assist. You can't play her, but like she's in the game at least. That was good. If this game had did that, I would be fine with that. And you put a number of how many times people can use an assist, so they got to think about it. I would be fine with that. But we got no assists, so that's what we got.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe that'll make a return in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Second stage.
I don't know. That'd be a really drastic mechanics to just throw in. It's like people
It
who
really
want
would.
them to put like parrying or like cancels in Street Fighter Five. That's like a drastic mechanic. That would completely change like how the game plays.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it happening.
No, it definitely won't, but someone will convince themselves that maybe.
Well, so I guess we can wrap this up then. I gotta do my advertisements again.
Plug them.
I gotta plug them. So a big shout out to Dream Cancel, wonderful website. One of the few websites actually that covers King of Fighters very regularly. You can find all sorts of news, all sorts of tech on their wiki. They have wiki pages for all the characters in King of Fighters 14. A very good resource. Yeah, I love me some Dream Cancel. I love me. It's on my arcade stick actually. I got this logo on my arcade stick. I love me some Dream Cancel. I love their podcasts. Like we were listening to the podcast the other night.
Yeah.
And it was pretty damn dope.
Oh, yeah, no, they have a lot of good information, a lot of good podcasts that were up there.
All right, big shout out to Orochinagi. That's the other big King of Fighters news site. They got news. They got character guides as well for all the King of Fighters 14 characters. They got awesome shirts actually. You should check out their shop section. They have some amazing shirts. I wanted to buy some and I ran short on money, but they have some great shirts. But yeah, big shout out to Orochinagi. And speaking of Orochinagi, a big shout out to the King of Data app. You can get it on Android, Google Play Store. Wonderful app. It has all the King of Fighters 14 frame data at the touch of your fingers. Right in your pocket. All that frame data. I use it for my tutorials. It's a wonderful resource. Thank you, Orochinagi, for making this. You are forever in my debt.
Taking all the notes. I can get some nice dope shirts, get some information, get
hell
some frame data. Just take all the notes down and come out looking good.
Like there's King of Fighters resources out there. It's just not the same as Street Fighter. Like you got sites like Shoryuken and Event Hubs. If Ryu farts in a Street Fighter game, then they're gonna cover it. The only time they really cover King of Fighters is when something big happens, like balance patch is coming out. There's new characters in the game. Otherwise, they don't even think about it. That really sucks. So I'm glad there's sites like Dream Cancel and Orochinagi around. I appreciate you guys. So I wouldn't get any King of Fighters news. Okay, time to plug them Twitters. I'm gonna put mine in the chat. And when I put this on YouTube, I'll put it in the description. I usually do anyway, but yeah, I'm at DiamondDust132.com.
At TheBlkOtaku, BLKOtaku.
I will also put that in the description on YouTube. Yeah, that's where all my updates are. If I have some news on one of my tutorials, if I'm telling you when it's coming out, who it's gonna be, that's where you'll find me. I'm on Twitter.
That's where I will be whenever I eventually go live again. Probably gonna start picking up in the fall and winter months. Have a little bit more time. It'll be a little colder out. Huddled around my TV trying to stream.
I mean, I got this new job coming up, and I set it up so like I have so little hours that I make enough money that I'm comfortable, but I still can do this stuff.
The way to do it. It's
so cool. Oh, I gotta plug that Patreon. I'm gonna put that in the chat. Also, gonna put that in the description. Yeah, I got a Patreon. It's patreon.com/DiamondDust132. Any support you can give me is greatly appreciated. I love doing this kind of stuff. I love making tutorials for King of Fighters. I love doing all this stuff. So any kind of help you can give me, help me keep doing this, greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Just gonna go ahead and drop my Twitch channel in in
Please
the
do.
chat.
I will put that in the description as well.
Feel free there. And nothing up yet, but there will be more activity to come. Just definitely hang out. We do a lot of variety streaming. I don't have any one particular game I'm on heavy, but whatever I feel like playing at the time will probably be on rotation. I can tell in the future it's going to be probably more the NBA 2K18, maybe live if I get that.
I was gonna say once Dragon Ball Fighters comes out.
Oh yeah, Fighters comes in heavy. You might see me on there messing around with King of Fighters once I pick that up and get a decent fight stick. We're trying to get them Evo boys, get them gains in.
Speaking of King of Fighters, I actually just uploaded a new tutorial today, or I might upload this podcast tomorrow, so maybe I should say yesterday. It's a Nelson tutorial, our good man from Brazil. Yeah, it's up on my channel. Put the link in the description of the podcast. So yeah, that went up today, so please check that out. I greatly appreciate it. I worked very hard on this one. This is probably my proudest tutorial. Like, I really felt like I put as much knowledge into it as I could. So yeah, please do check that out. And speaking of podcasts, I have a solo podcast up on my channel, King of Fighters 14, 1 year later, where I talk about the game and how it's changed in the year since it's been out. I got this idea from a Dream Cancel podcast. I'll probably put that in the description too. God, I'm putting a lot of stuff in the description. But yeah, it's just my thoughts on the game. The game hasn't been as big as I hoped, but there's people out there still playing it. It's definitely not dead. I don't care what anybody says. It's not just my biased opinion. But yeah, please do check that out. I'll put a link in the description. And finally, the King of Fighters 14 is on sale on Steam. The regular version is $40. And if you want to get the deluxe edition, and I believe that comes with all the DLC for the game. Let me click this, because we said this earlier and I'm not actually sure. I think that's the case, yeah. Even the DLC by itself, so if you already have the game, the DLC by itself is $10. So the base game is $40 on Steam. You want the deluxe edition, that's with all the DLC, that's $50. That's crazy. It's normally $75. That's a crazy deal. You gotta take that. And if you already have the game, all the DLC is only $10. Usually $20, so that's half the price. You can't beat that. And if you don't have a PC, I believe King of Fighters is on sale at GameStop. Is it on sale? Or is that just a normal price?
It's regular price. GameStop has it at $30 for a physical copy.
How about
price.
That?
I am not sure the DLC prices, but at $30 you can't really complain.
You cannot beat that. I mean,
go ahead and get all the DLC and probably still pay less than you would for like a regular game.
That's a goddamn steal for this game. I would pay twice that amount. I did pay twice that amount.
Available to buy online too, so you probably don't even have to worry about your local GameStop not having a copy. You can get a brand new copy online shipped to you.
Wow, so I'm going to put that in the description as well when it goes up on YouTube. Those are some crazy deals. So whether you have PS4 or PC, now is the time to pick up King of Fighters 14. There's no more excuses. If you really want to play this game, now is the time. Gotta take advantage of these deals.
Yeah, I mean, just for comparison, on Amazon, physical copy is $48, digital copy is $30.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Gotta take advantage of these deals. Well, that's all I really got to. That's all my advertisements. The only thing else I can think of is, as you can see on the screen, I'm trying to go to Frosty Faustings. That's next year. I think it's January the 18th or the 19th. So if you want to help me out with that, so I can represent Midwest and represent KOF boys, I'd greatly appreciate that. I will put a link to where you can donate if you have anything to spare. I greatly appreciate it. Trying to represent this game. Maybe I'll go pro one day. Who knows? Might not happen, but who knows?
To Frosty Faustings. Get out there.
Shout outs to Frosty Faustings. Last year was actually pretty good. I almost got out of pools. I just ran into Kusanagi, which is never good. For all you out there who knows who Kusanagi is. Like, he put me in losers. Then I got to grand finals of the pool, and then he just beat me again. So that's fantastic.
He's training for that to not happen again, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I had fun, though. I went to Combo Breaker, too, but I didn't.
Before.
Yeah. Gotta have fun. Yeah, I went to Combo Breaker, too. I didn't compete, but I played a lot of casuals. I actually saw Desmond there. I don't think he saw me, though. Like, I saw him, I was like, is that Desmond? And I never got the chance to go up and talk to him, and actually, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Desmond.
He's over there plugging some more stuff.
He was just bodying people, bodying folks like he usually does.
Like he just casually can do.
Probably would have bodied me. I played him online maybe a month or two ago. We were kind of even. Like he won more, but I gave it my best shot.
That's all you can do.
Shout outs to Desmond. Shout outs to Dream Cancel. All right, man. This is almost 3 hours. You should probably wrap this up. You got any shout outs you want to make?
Just shout out to you for having me here. Thank you. It's always good to be back on the page.
We gotta do this more often, I swear.
Definitely. We definitely gotta get in the lab and schedule some stuff.
Maybe not like a weekly thing, maybe like a bi-weekly thing, like every 2 weeks or something.
We'll figure something out.
We always say that.
Hit either of us up on the Twitter if you guys have any ideas for things you want to see, want us to talk about. If you get any articles that you want to pass along, let us know. We can always, put some together and talk about some stuff. Pretty much all I got. Just look for us to be more consistent, hopefully coming on and doing some more stuff with you guys.
Okay, shout outs to Critical Hit, my training partner. You know who you are. Thanks for putting up with my shit when we play King of Fighters. Shout outs to all my subscribers. Shout outs to all my followers on Twitch. I would not be doing this stuff without you. Thank you so much. And with that, I think we can just end this.
We out.
All right, I appreciate everybody who sat through. It's almost 3 hours. I appreciate you. If you sat through this far, you deserve a medal. If I could give you money, I would. So stay tuned. Like you said, we might have some more stuff. We're not giving you any money. We're not giving.
We are not giving you any money.
Right, so just stay tuned. I want to have another one of these soon. I don't know what the heck we're gonna talk about. I guess we'll figure it out. Like you said. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you around.
Peace.